right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I'm your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to check this out, even though you missed the live party. Guys, make sure you are here. The live party's the best part, so you be here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party again. Let's also say thank you to my6shirt.com. Whatever your persuasion, they've got something for you. And of course, it is the only place to get your very own The Indian Jesus official merch, only at my6shirt.com. All right. Welcome. We got Jay Luty in the building. We got Melted Mind Media. What is good? Welcome to the party, guys. So I am very, very excited to share with you our boy Sean Strickland. I know you guys in the chat right now are UFC fans, but for those of you who don't know, Sean Strickland just won the UFC middleweight title from my favorite fighter, Israel Adesanya, who nobody in the world thought that he was going to win. And the guy has a let's just say a message that I think you guys are really going to like. So let's just dive in with what he had to say after the fight, because the podcast is from right before.
Strickland, you were on our podcast
As always, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
recently. What did you think of the Nelk boys?
Soft fucking weak men. Just, but that's like, and this thing, guys, I don't say look up to me. I'm a white trash motherfucker just trying to be a man every day, which is very difficult. But those fucking, finally, that weak little motherfucker, bro, even being around him, the fucking weakness is rubbing off me. Even talking to him, I thought I may have lost the fight just because it could have fucking rubbed off on me. But at the end of the day, man, what's his name? Kyle? Kyle's a good guy. You can tell Kyle wants to be a man. Kyle wants to start dressing like a man. He wants to stop dressing like he's looking to hit on ninth graders, So I think there's definitely hope for Kyle to become a man.
So, I mean, just a little teaser of what we're getting into. Most of my media said, wish I would have bet on his fight. I would have won big. Yeah, I mean, I heard like closing odds were like, or opening odds were like plus 1,400 or something like that. Crazy. All right. And Melted Mind Media is, of course, another awesome YouTuber. Just dropped the link to his channel in the chat. So definitely go check him out. But without further ado, let's dive right in.
We got an absolute legend in the house today.
Facts.
Oh, yeah, change my drink. You can give me some caffeine? Okay, I got you. I got you, dude.
Really? Why wouldn't you cut that out?
Flow right off the break, eh?
That's what he does.
This is our gay assistant, by the way, too.
Yeah, are you gay?
Yeah, he's gay as it gets.
Oh yeah, I've always wondered about the gays. Who decides who who? Like when your boyfriend is it? Do you guys like take turns? You switch off?
Oh man, I told you we're gonna have fun tonight. And it's not just BS.
Oh, so you're not gay?
I don't have a boyfriend, no.
But you are gay.
Yeah, I guess.
The thing about him though is like he's actually like he's like a cool gay guy. Like
dude, most gay guys I meet are cool. Lesbians hate me, man. I look like the guy that they think I'm the guy that abused them. I'm not the guy. I know I got a shaved head and I wear boots, but I'm not the fucking guy. I'm not your dad. I'm not whoever the I'm not the guy that hurt you. But yeah, man, I support your lifestyle, dude, and I hope you fuck a lot of dudes and don't get AIDS.
That is true. Lesbians are the most sensitive.
They're way more rude.
Well, they're angry.
Yeah, but because gay guys probably want to fuck you, lesbians don't. No, bro, I'll tell you what it is. It's because it's two alpha girls. Two alpha girls is not going to work. You know what I mean? When you're lesbians, there's usually two alpha chicks, right?
I mean, I don't know if we call them alphas. They're usually just. But,
I'm just gonna let that ride.
Let's call them for what they are. They're angry lesbians, man. Angry lesbians, like you grow up watching two chicks go down on each other, and all of a sudden you see it in the wild. You see two girls in the wild, and you're like, man, all my dreams are about to come true. And you're like, oh man, you guys are. But anyways, we got off tangent, man. I support your lifestyle. I hope you fuck all the dudes. I'm sure at one point he's going to be joining your party.
What the fuck? Absolutely
oh my
not.
God.
Bro,
Who told you? How do you get that vibe?
So let me tell you something about this, guys. I don't
Really? Really, I've seen it all over this Happy Dad, but I don't know. I like my my drink of choice. Those of you who know, but maybe I'll give it a shot.
Really watch like pop culture shit.
Yeah.
Like I stay away from it, dude, because it's like cancer on the mind. But I did watch an interview with you and Dylan. Dylan's that fucking name.
Shout out to Dylan Dennis. Oh man, that was great. Yep, he called it.
Dylan Dennis.
Yeah, and I realized, bro, you're like, how old are you?
29.
You're like
Okay.
how old are you?
Same age.
You're like
Really? They're both 29? That other dude looks like he's maybe 23. Maybe 23.
the mature, reasonable guy that fucking a little bit too tan, but you're the mature, reasonable guy. And you're more like the Weasley fucking beta male in the group. But I think it's a good dichotomy. It's a good.
I'm
it's
going
a
through
good,
a rebrand right now, so I'm just like,
Are you, bro? But the reason I showed you that clip is because you would expect when you watch that clip that, especially if you don't know who Sean Strickland is, that he was here and he was, cordial and whatever, and then afterwards talking trash. But that's not what happened. He came in straight off rip. He was like, "Yeah, you look like a little beta," and then, I mean, hey, there's, it is what it is. Melton My Media said the joke is that the small dude and the gay guy hook up every trip. No, like they're small guy. Not yes. I figured that I was not hooking up with men on trips for the Full Sun podcast. Thank you. Hey, shout out to Michael 5035. Welcome to the party. Said Sean Strickland is as real as it gets, and it's great to see him get all this support and attention. Absolutely, completely agree. Especially because even though he already was slated for the title fight, this was the night before. So I don't know if it was the night before, the day before, but like he had not fought yet. So he was, he could have been in a very, well, I mean, should I say he was in a very interesting mindset, as we are going to see. Welcome to the party. Welcome.
letting you know.
it was your rebrand.
Like more gym focus, more protecting like values type shit.
Yeah, you seem a little bit like morally shady. Like I don't think I'd want like let me tell you, if I went away on a
That's why I
vacation,
know you're full of shit though.
if
You're
I
like,
went on a vacation, bro, and I came home and you were like having lunch at my my chicken or fuck you, but if you were having lunch at my house, I would be like, oh, this guy's trying to fuck my chick. You, bro, I think you're a little bit more trustworthy. You just have that. This guy though.
what is there anything specific that gives you that kind of energy?
Just
I don't know, but I agree. He's got this little weaselly little voice, and it looks like a little boy. And I don't know. I completely. I don't know. I haven't seen the other guy enough to, whatever. But Sean's in the room with them, and I think he's spot on.
just here, I'll tell you why. Because I don't watch.
Or any way I could fix that, maybe.
I don't watch podcasts. I don't watch podcasts.
I love how he just
I don't
breezes
not
right
really
by
into
that.
it, dude, especially like the pop culture shit, bro. It's cancer for the brain. It's like,
Yeah.
and again, you guys have made a lot of money off this, so I fucking respect you fuckers, man. You guys are fucking crushing.
I feel you though. Social media it's definitely fucking toxic.
But like I was watching, so I was like, I'm gonna get to know these guys a little bit and get to know these guys. So I watched you and the Dylan Dennis, and you were more like the reasonable one. Like you were being a little beta. You wanted to tell him what's up. You wanted to say, hey, dude, talking about that guy's fucking wife, you're a piece of shit. You shouldn't fucking do it. And you're a fucking scumbag. But
If you're not familiar, Dylan Dennis is beefing with Logan Paul and, stuff going on with his whore wife.
you were a little bit more like,
Folded.
yeah, you're a little bit more, you folded a little bit more.
Yeah, I
like
did.
you were a little bit more like, I'm gonna suck this guy off and be part of the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not part of the club because most people feel how you do about him and don't fuck with him.
Dude, you're doing it right now. You're trying to. No, I'm not the cool one because the cool one will be. So that's me not trying to be cool. See, I am cool. You're doing it right now, right at this moment. Listen to what he said.
A little bit more, you folded a little bit more.
Yeah, I
like
did.
you were a little bit more like, I'm gonna suck this guy off and be part of the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
So first, he just says yeah before disagreeing.
not part of the club because most people feel how you do about him and don't fuck with him.
No, but I'm saying, but what I'm telling you though, it's like, it's harder to be this guy to say, hey,
Shit.
like it's harder to be this guy to say, hey, what you're doing is not right. There was a point in our fucking country where if you implied a man's wife was a whore, he'd fucking kill you. And I still think fucking that should be that way. So what you do, bro, you have this kind of this
Let's get into the America talk.
old school mindset that like, make fun of me, whatever you want, but there's lines not to cross. And that's a harder position to take than to kind of be a little bit more weaselly.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
But you need a balance of it, Steiny.
Oh, it's kind of Weasley, Steinley, you know, that kind of goes a little bit.
It's just going hard, man. And I don't watch Full Send, so I don't know. I just found out that the Nelk Boys and Full Send is the same thing. I know nothing about these guys. I know a decent amount about Sean Strickland, but I've never really heard him in a sit-down long-form interview. I've heard about his past. He grew up being a neo-Nazi and was like, wait a minute, this is a terrible ideology. And then flip that all around. And he's still a very brash guy, but he's, all-American dude, right?
It's happened every time, bro.
We're gonna rebrand you.
It's just research. I don't know.
But yeah, no, you guys are fucking crushing.
Thank you,
it.
bro.
Well,
we fucking appreciate you coming because you're a fucking legend. And dude,
the UFC, bro. I don't know what the fuck these guys did the UFC, but they love these fucking guys, bro. I like that shit.
well,
See, if it was anybody else, I would have just started here. But because I know you guys will love Sean Strickland, let's let it ride.
I've been watching UFC since like I'm 29.
Man, me, bro. I got to see your nut hanging out, sitting like
my
that, bro.
bad.
Come on, bro. You're gonna turn this guy on, bro. Look, his dick's starting to get hot. He just had to leave the fucking room. He just had to leave the fucking room.
No, I've been watching fucking UFC since like I was like 2008, back in the day. So like I've been watching, and then we were doing all these videos and shit, and then we got in contact with Dana.
Yeah.
So we just started going to fights, and then we were doing content, and like we have a pretty big audience. So,
I respected you guys. Another thing I respect you guys bringing Trump on. I'm not a huge Trumper. I'm a libertarian, but like you guys kind of like.
Okay, there we go. So he's just. But I would have assumed he would be super MAGA, but apparently not.
After like the whole world deplatformed him, you guys like sacked the fuck up and you gave him a platform, and I respect you guys for that. You know,
for sure. Well, we try to just be true to what we think. You know, I think that's the name of the game in social media. We try our best, but. I was gonna say, like, I appreciate you coming. You're a fucking legend.
Yeah, you guys
legendary fighter.
You guys are doing all the right shit. Besides you caving with the Dylan.
I was gonna just ask. So, what do you think about that? Him putting Logan's girl on blast.
So let me tell you, when it comes to the Jake Paul brothers, I stay away from it.
But you're on Twitter a lot, so you got.
I'm on Twitter a lot, and I rant a lot more than I should, dude. But it's like.
Melted by Media says Sean is a political normie confirmed. What? I'm going to go ahead and completely disagree with that. I don't know how much you've heard Sean Strickland talk, but even before this conversation, definitely not. Let's see. Let's star this and see if you feel the same way near the end.
There is a problem in America. And I say this because I'm part of the problem, because I grew up as like the modern day male. And Jake Paul, Dylan Dennis, they're fucking cancer, you guys. And it's like they're cancer on society. And all they do is they hurt men. They hurt the image of men. They hurt the psyche of men. And the more you could just fucking stay away from it, the better off you'll be. The better relationships you'll have. The fucking guy's just toxic.
How so? Why do you think so?
Fuck, man. You guys
how are they toxic?
Just.
That's what I mean. He said, I want to know why he doesn't like Trump. I don't think that he is saying, I don't like Trump. I think he's saying, like, I don't like Trump. Like, I'm not a fan of Trump. Not that I specifically dislike Trump. That's how I heard it.
Little things like we're talking about, one of the greatest presidents, Andrew Jackson. I mean, he killed a man for implying his wife was a whore. Like, we used to live in this world.
I did not know that. Is that even true? Is that even true? Somebody look that up.
And dignity mattered and what you said mattered. But now we just live in this world where like, hey, look at my clickbait. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something outrageous. And then once you get used to this, I'm going to do something more outrageous,
describing the Nelk Boys.
Outrageous. And, the fact that we're raising all these beta males, they just buy into it. As opposed to like a real man. And again, I'm going to say, watching your podcast, you weren't fourth. But a real man would say, hey, first of all, man, no, that shit's not cool. I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to watch your bullshit. Like, I guess he leaked naked photos of her.
I don't think he leaked them. I think they're already on
the
internet.
Did you look at them?
I did.
But again, me, like, that's kind of like part of
I wish I had this poll up. Because it's too late now. And we have a running poll. Is Sean Strickland a good role model? Yes or no? Is Sean Strickland a good role model? Right now, we are running at 75% yes. But let me know what you think in the comments below. But this is an interesting point that, again, I would not have really expected this from Strickland. Shout out to Spacey. Welcome to the party. So don't speak of America's greatest hero. Who is America's greatest hero, and who are we not speaking ill of? I'm with everybody here. Melty's got this here. What are we looking at? We couldn't find this page. Brilliant. Thank you.
The problem, like,
welcome to the party, Spacey.
Whenever you see something like that, the beta male weak aspect thing to do is to say, no, I'm going to go look at this woman's titties that maybe she put out. But like a real man would say, you know what? You're trash. You're trash. I'm not going to look at her wife. I'm not, even I want to Google the photo, but I'm not going to do it, because the moment I Google that photo and I go look at it, I'm part of the problem.
What about on?
That's an interesting perspective. And it's a very, in the same kind of like shopping cart theory of morality, where you don't get any extra prize for putting your shopping cart back, and you don't get any punishment for not doing it. This is a similar kind of thing. And I certainly would look at whatever pictures were going around. I mean, why not? But for him to have an internal consciousness that says, no, I'm not going to do that, that says something. Shout out to Dan the Man Jensen. Welcome to the party. It's America's greatest sociopath. Who are you guys talking about? What's happening here? Spacey said Mega Giga Chad. Sean Strickland? Or are we talking about Sean Strickland, or are we talking about Trump? Either way, right?
On the flip side, though, they sold out. I think they sold out their tickets.
But again, this is what you guys are in the world of smut peddling, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. You guys make a lot of fucking money, and you guys are fucking doing it right. But you
calling them out, but saying, hey, this is what it is. I don't like it, but respect for you guys doing it the way you're doing it, because it's making money.
You are in the world of smut peddling. So, and this is the really shitty thing about society, because you guys, I grew up in the 1990s. Like, I had no positive role models in my life. I grew up on 1990s Hollywood. But as a man, as I grow up and I start making more money, I look back at all these influences I had and how detrimental.
Oh, okay. You guys got to be specific. There's a lot going on here. Gotcha. Okay.
I lied. I cheated on my girlfriend. I've done so much bad shit, bro, that as a man, I have to look myself in the mirror and say, I did this. And why did this happen? It happened because I had no real positive male role models in my life.
This is not the way that sociopaths speak. If you don't like him, you don't like him. That's totally fine. But let's call a spade a spade.
I had nobody telling me not to be a piece of shit. Being a piece of shit was encouraged. So I think the best thing you do if you're a man, especially a young man, is turn the shit off. Turn the shit off, man.
Except for me.
It's only going to make your life harder.
Yeah. What changed for you then in your personal experiences? Because you said you used to do the same shit and you changed your attitude.
Getting a little bit of money. So when I was poor, man, I would struggle, like you.
And I mean, is that not the story of everyone in America? Everyone. You get a little bit of money and you see like, oh, the entire world looks different to me now. If people only knew, again, this idea of, you can't pull yourself up by your bootstraps if you don't have any boots. And so let's just make sure everybody has that basic bare minimum level so that we can say, if you don't have the life that you want, it's your fault.
You become like vindictive. You become like, you just struggle, bro. You just struggle. You see people money. You see people like the Instagram titties, and you become like, you just fall into the trap of being like this toxic fucking male. And then the moment you start making money and the moment you start doing things more right and you start kind of being a man of your word and you start living better. And again, I still fuck up. I do a lot of fucked up things, dude. But the moment you try, dude, your life becomes exponentially better. And I'm sure you could agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could agree with that. So
fair enough. I mean, not too much to add there. Certainly, when you're putting effort into a purpose, you obviously are going to feel better about yourself.
I just turn off the smut. And they're just fucking smut, dude.
It is tough. Like, I feel like it's a lot harder to be a male now with like social media and like staying loyal to a girl too with like all this shit's
dude,
just like
back in the day,
shoved in our fucking face.
No, dude, back in the day, like my grandfather, worked at a bar, fucking avid cheater. My mom has fucking, 20,
Avid
30
cheater.
siblings. But dude, that man had to try to cheat. My grandfather, he had to go to bars. But now you want to cheat, we could get fucking any kind of, you want to give me 10 minutes on my phone and I could get some
10 minutes. And he's like, what color? What size? What do you want her to do? She'll be right here, especially if they're in Vegas. I assume they're in Vegas.
Fucking table. So it's hard, dude. It's hard to be a fucking male, dude. It's hard to be a male. And like, yeah, man, it's fucking rough, dude. The moment you open your eyes and you see what society has done to men, it is fucking rough. Even like you want to talk about like wage.
Okay, so this will be the test, because first of all, talking about men's issues is not political normie conversation at all. So he's talking about wage. So let's see where he goes with this.
We say it would be an easier time to be a man in 1942 than it is a man in 2023. And you have people come and tell me, well, Sean, why is that? You have to go storm the beaches of Normandy. You got to go invade, you got to go invade. That sounds terrible. It's terrible. You might die, but you come back in, 1946 or whenever World War II ended. You could go be a mechanic. You could get paid a living wage. You get respected. You can raise a family. You probably have some God in you because that was before it got washed out.
All right. Well, you guys know how I feel about that part. But if we're just talking about the values, then yes, absolutely. That even though there was, or let's just say, even though there are parts of life today that are way easier, when you adjust for the fact that we never lived without those things. So it's not like those are seen or felt as privileges. Like the fact, especially, like Zoomers and the internet. Like you can't imagine what the world was like without the internet. So you can't think of that as a privilege, even though it absolutely is. You have to think about people's experience from their own starting point. And life was just simpler back then. It was just simpler. And if you had it bad, it would probably be worse. But a lot of people didn't, Guys, can I get 3 more likes in here, please? Thank you so much.
And you have a good life. And now let's fast forward to 2023. You have this conspiracy theory of corporations and government trying to turn people into these mindless smut consumers. Being a man in 2023, what is that like? One, more than likely, both your parents work growing up.
Yeah.
Both your parents work growing up. So you have a kid. He's going to be raised by a school system that indoctrinates him into utter fucking trash. And not only that, public school. So mostly
talking about public school and how schooling is. I mean, again, man, I'm just saying, political normie, maybe not.
The kids that he's going to school with are fucking trash. So it's like you cannot filter out the damage from society. So now you're an adult. Now you're 18 years old. You have no moral backing. You have no real constitution of what right is wrong is.
But Jay, you're saying that he's just saying the obvious, but he's not a politico. He's not a pundit. This is somebody who is not in the weeds like we are. He is not. He just said that he's not into this stuff. He's not paying attention to the news and what this popular person is saying, what that person is saying. So he's just gathering this from experience and looking out at the world and his anecdotal experience. And okay, he spends a lot of time on Twitter, but I'm sure he's not digging into the depths of foreign policy and stuff. So the point is, again, we have to understand that we are looking at this conversation from the context of who is Sean Strickland, and if he's spending all his time training to now become the world champion, and also being able to understand these things, then that's a huge cultural shift. If it is so that he's the political normie, then that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Because to me, this sounds like conservative talk. And the only reason that it is that way, not is because he's paying attention to conservative pundits and stuff, but reality now seems to have a culturally conservative tinge. Shout out to Unwanted Foe with a $2 super chat. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. Where's Morty? Let's see if we can get him up here. Morty, you want a treat? Come here. Come here. Come on. No, you don't want it? All right, then it's staying up here. It's staying up here. All right, let's see if we can go. Oh, and again, Melted Mind Media stealing the sponsorship spot. Come on. There we go. Oh, I think Melty got him. Melty got it. Come on, come here. Come on. Hey, Melted Mind Media, not only the sponsor of the stream, but brought in the best co-host ever. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Much appreciated.
All you want to do is you want to get laid, you want all the money, because that's what you see on the Instagram. Being a man in 2023 is impossible. And then, last thing before I end this rant, you want to talk about wages.
Oh my goodness. Dan Jensen. Thank you so much. Let's just get this out of the way. And Morty's like, I'm loving this. Thank you so much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you so much, guys. You are so generous. Very much appreciated.
You can't be a man and have they took all self-respect from men. You can't be a man and go be a mechanic and support a family. The government robbed you, like the CEOs robbed you. We are in a fucking awful place right now to be a man. It's fucking rough.
Where do you think that comes from though? Like, is that coming from some
corporations, man?
Like the tops trying to like change 100%. Roles in society?
Let me ask you something. If you were like a corporation and you want more money, do you want strong moral values with a man working and raising a family?
I mean, I sure would. Oh, shout out to Jay with the $2 Canadian. Thank you so much. And it's not the size that matters most. Here you go, Morty. Get that out of the way for you. Full view. Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you, all of you guys. Very much appreciate it. You guys know how much it warms my heart. I won't go and get all mushy. I know you don't like it, but thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Or do you want what we have now?
Yeah, that's like above corporations though. That's like,
but it's not. It's not above
top level shit though.
People always think corporations are evil. They're not evil. They have a purpose. They're a machine and make the most money. And how do you do that? You do that by having more consumers, less people thinking, more people looking at their phone. Mm-hmm. We could talk about fucking Iraq.
Hey, shout out to Lefty Lucy. Welcome to the party. So it's an awful time to be human. Man and female doesn't come into it. An evil purpose? Well, let's stick with this one. I definitely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. But the talk of women's issues are all over the place. Talk of men's issues are not. So it is an awful time for men and women. And I think men and women does come into it because it's different and or it's awful in different ways. But the point of why you have and the people like Andrew Tate blowing up is because there's nobody better. You have Jordan Peterson, you have David Goggins, people like that. But there's no thing for women. Turn on any channel, turn on any podcast. And it's about we need, women this and women that. And that doesn't mean that women have it easy. I'm not saying that. In certain ways, y'all do. But that's not what I'm saying right now. So I hear what you're saying. But the reason that men will talk about men's issues and how it's hard to be a man is because it used to be easier to be a man, first of all, in a way that we never experienced. And now that's changing. So the perception is that, it's just harder. And notice how nobody says, well, what about the men when we talk about women's issues? But heaven forbid, how dare somebody bring up men's issues. Like, well, women are in it too. Nobody said anything about women. It's three dudes sitting having a conversation. So I completely feel you. But be aware that there is this comment or this type of comment always comes in whenever we want to talk about men's issues. And just because we're talking about men's issues doesn't mean that we are ignoring or not acknowledging that women have issues as well. Lucy says, we're all tax slaves in the same boat, but yeah, men moan less. True, because nobody will listen. Older generations of men were forced to murder in wars. Men now have it easy compared to them, in my opinion. Yeah. So what I was saying just before you popped on is that this is correct, but we especially like the Zoomer generation who never grew up without the internet. You can't look at that and be like, well, they have everything that they need right at their fingertips when in 1940 they didn't. It's not like, because the child, or as they're growing up and having the internet be part of what they know, that's just not going to be that's not going to factor in to how they think about things, because it's always been there. They're going to take it for granted. That doesn't mean that it's not a good thing, but it's about perception and it's about personal experience. Nah, I mean,
like Afghanistan. Furthermore, we could look in hindsight, or let's talk about Ukraine.
Nah, you good, boo.
That's modern day. We could look in Ukraine and we could see how much money has been mishandled, how much money we've lost, and yet why it burns down and no one gives a fuck about it. Because all these,
and I just heard somebody today talking about how this is like a whataboutism or something like that, as if that we can't send money abroad and also deal with things at home. True. But if things at home are not being dealt with, and we're sending billions and billions of dollars to where it's not needed for Americans, then I think they're connected. Shout out to Nick. Welcome to the party. Thank you so much. Welcome to the party.
Americans, bro, they are fucking mindless consumers. They just stare at their fucking phone and they vote the same people in. I'm telling you, there is it's not a conspiracy, but to be a man is hard in 2023. The only thing we can do, don't go out and buy that new $50,000 TRD. Don't go out and buy that, $100 shirt, my fucking shirt, $10 from Walmart. I buy them in packs, Yeah. The best thing we could do, man, is we need to start taking power away from the dollar.
Well, Lucy says more money disappeared off the books on 9/11 than has been donated to the Ukraine war. Yeah, they're both. I mean, the forever wars, wherever they are, wherever the money is going, is bad. That's the point. There are problems in America that we need fixed, that need people and money to attend to them. And while that's going on, there's money being spent elsewhere. So I do understand that, yes, two things can happen at the same time, but finite resources are finite. I mean, I guess technically not, but they could just money print or go burn. But eventually the bill comes due. So again, just because 9/11 or the Iraq War and all that was a terrible waste of money doesn't mean that Ukraine isn't. Two things can. My point is not a new problem. Well, I mean, true, but I mean, what are we doing to stop it then? All the more reason that we should be like, hey, this is not a new problem. Let's fix this.
And what I mean by that, the moment we start taking power away from the dollar and telling men that your value of a man is not by how much money you have in your pocket, then it changes. Then men are like, and then we start telling women, and again, that also goes, we start telling women that the value of a man is not the value of what in his pocket. The value of the man is what is inside him. And the moment we start spreading that message to young women that the value of the man, your future husband, boyfriend.
Notice how he's framing this, that you have to teach the women this. And yes, of course, men, you have to be on your purpose. You got to make sure you're, doing all you can, keep in order, get your money up, all that stuff. But there's two sides to the issue of men being unhappy, just like there's two sides to the issue of women being unhappy.
Comes from, who he is as a person, the world becomes better.
Do you think that message is possible to spread to women though?
No, I don't think
there's
so.
no chance, bro.
Dude, you just said it.
I feel like women are naturally trained, like we're animals at the end of the day.
Yeah,
right?
no, we want to.
I feel like women are naturally trained or trained to want to be taken care of.
No, I agree, but it's like,
and I feel like like success and money they're just like naturally attracted to.
But they are.
Well, yes, because they are like that's so that naturally they were women had to find a man, going back to the caveman days, because then they would get eaten or whatever. They needed the protection of the tribe, and specifically one man, and of course to procreate. So I mean that it's just a hangover effect, because now money and shiny things are a sign that you are capable of keeping her safe. Lefty Lucy said, as long as America still thinks it's the hall monitor of the world, the problem will persist. Bingo. I 100% agree, and I get it. I get it that there are promises in place. I get it that there's like bigger problems that come from smaller problems, that if we don't fix the smaller problem, that it could lead to a bigger problem. I understand all of that, but it just seems like we're so trigger happy on anything to do with war everywhere. And I don't think that's like a crazy conspiratorial thing to say. And it's just over and over and over and over. America's got to be the hall monitor. America, world police. It's just not the way to go. It's just not the way to go. We don't live in the same world that we did when NATO was established. You know what I mean? We don't live in that world anymore. We're not that same country, and the rest of the world doesn't look the same either. So why are we still acting like it? Does not make any sense to me.
There's certain things. We are natural. We want to fuck everything. I want to fight everybody. Like there's all these natural instincts, but when you raise a daughter on TikTok, on Instagram, when you're seeing, fakeness, when you're seeing people in Bugattis, people take pictures in front of private fucking jets, people wear $40,000 fucking watches. Baller. Like it comes down to raising your daughter and your child with respect. We're already fucked, bro. We already fucked. They're going to look at our podcast and going to be like, oh, my dad.
These guys are fucking losers.
My dad's a piece of shit. Yeah. Piece of shit with fucking money, though. So you're not a piece of shit. Yeah. But if you were to have a kid, would you instill good values in this child?
For sure. Yeah. What do you think about the girls that, like, I've seen it a few times where the family doesn't necessarily have money, and then the girl blows up on whatever social media and then makes her family rich that way. And like
you're pimping out your kid.
Yep. Yeah, she's basically bringing more money than her father.
And the guy, here's the thing: I was poor and miserable, and now I have money, and I'm happy. Like life's different when you have money. Like when I was poor, and somebody asked me for $1, I was like, fuck you. Every now and then I'll see it GoFundMe, and I'll be like, I'm gonna go donate. No. Having money, once you lose the stress of like, oh, I'm poor, I'm worthless. But this is what it comes back down to.
I can't imagine, guys. Like, I cannot imagine the notion that you just like don't have to worry about money. And I did not grow up poor, but obviously as an adult, I have shit to pay for. Like, insane. I just like, yeah, all my bills are paid for, and I have extra money, so much so that I don't even need to count it or worry about it. I just buy the things that I like, especially if you are somebody who doesn't have expensive taste. That must be the sweet life. Shout out to Kelly Green in the building. What is good? What is good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Says, I'm okay with a little bit of war. The song Lowrider was all right. As long as we're going to get good music out of it, then let all the people die, right? Let them all die.
You are taught, like I always tell people, I was at my niece's house once, and I was watching like a kid show with them. And there's all these like adult commercials, not like adult commercials, but like, it's like,
really?
It's like, like maybe like Fox or something. And all of a sudden like a car.
Oh, I've been kind of primed in these days when we talk about adult things that it means like adult things.
Commercial comes. I'm like, why the fuck are they playing this for like kids hour? Like this is where all the little kid cartoons are on.
Priming.
But they do that because they're indoctrinating generations by generations. For instance, how much you guys are not married, right?
No.
When you go get married, what do they say? What's the role buying a girl's a wedding ring?
3 months. Was it 3 months salary? Is that the rule? I think. Yeah, you can get them.
There's a rule to it.
Oh, it's a percent of your net worth. I forget.
It's a percent of your net worth. And you are indoctrinated from fucking birth, being brainwashed by the television that when you get married, you go buy this. When you get married, you have this Audi or fucking Mercedes that makes you better. And the reason why they're able to indoctrinate kids is because they have made an environment to where you can't be involved with your kids. Now it's like both parents are working. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna give my kid my cell phone so he shuts the fuck up.
True, but before he kind of glossed over the was it 3%? Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but clearly not married. But the aside from the percent of whatever it is, think about the De Beers company in the first place. The idea that diamonds are rare or special. They're not. They're not. They just control the release of them so that they can charge more money for them. It's a completely propped up industry. And nobody questions it. People are, it's only expensive because they said it's expensive. But maybe I'm stupid because that's all they care about. Well, somebody said this is expensive and I can pay for it. So that makes me cool.
Loser. And I can go to work and he just shuts. I just worked 8 hours a day. Last thing I want to do is fucking deal with my kid. Hey, kid.
So easy for them to just hand them a
phone. Go look at this shit.
iPad.
Go look at this shit. Go.
Those people should not be having kids. I get it. I get it that I can't possibly know what it's like to have a child without having one. But I kind of feel like there has to be some level of desire for that lifestyle before you engage in trying to have a kid. That you should. I don't know. I am talking out of my ass because I don't have any kids, but it just seems like so the level of unwillingness from so many parents. It's weird. It's weird.
Get consumer, go get indoctrinated. So when we're talking about the girl who goes and makes their fucking family money, dude, huzzah! I hope you're fucking happy. But to me, you're pimping out your kid, dude. There's so much more to life than fucking money. And again, it's easy for me to say that because I have money now and I could go to Starbucks and buy a fucking latte for $6 and not even think about it.
I gotta tell you, bro, a lot of people who can't afford coffee go to Starbucks and buy $6 lattes and not even think about it. That is part of the problem. Lucy says, parenting plays more in this problem than propaganda. If parents actually cared about what info the kids absorbed, this problem wouldn't exist. I agree with you. For sure. The problem is that we had trust in our institutions. Before the lockdowns, nobody would have thought that just sending your kid to a school would be like the level of indoctrination on the level of BS that they're pushing. And they just slid all this stuff in the last 20 years. So I agree with you, but there was a social understanding that kids are safe at school. This is just school. This isn't politics. They're just learning about reading and math and that stuff. They have art class and they have gym, but it's not a political, cultural battleground. And that's just not the case anymore. Next is I'm saddened by how easily some people find it to hurt someone else. I'm not quick to violence and can't imagine enjoying hurting someone, with a few exceptions. Don't hurt who I care about, and we are cool. Agreed. Advice is the worst vice. Interesting. I've never heard this phrase before. Tell me exactly what you mean by this. I've never heard this before. Advice is the worst vice. I know what the words mean. But yeah, lay it out. Hey, we got David Banner in the building. Welcome to the parties and the best champ in the UFC named Sean. Welcome to the party, brother.
But I'm telling you, man,
it's just a weird concept for me to think like if you have a daughter and your daughter's the breadwinner of your family, it's just like, what the fuck?
But yeah, man, I like you guys, dude, but I love
how Strickland he said outright, he's like, hey, I don't respect you. And then he's clearly just showing, I don't respect you. Yeah, daughters and yeah, whatever. But I like you guys, dude.
You guys are in the business of peddling smut, and you've made a lot of money, and I applaud you guys. But man, it's a damn shame, dude. Because again, I'm like, you guys are Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
I'm American.
I won't hold that against you. By the way, Jordan Peterson, man, they're really fucking that guy, dude.
He's dope. Yeah.
But
Facts. Hey, what was the last? I don't even remember what the last lawsuit that was against him, but I think he had to pay some. I don't know. Let me not speak on it. I don't remember the details, but Canada does not like Jordan Peterson. Jay said Bilal coming to dethrone Strickland. I agree with that. I agree. Lefty Lucy said it boils down to listening to government propaganda will kill you. Bingo. Absolutely. And that is why we do not comply. They're already talking. More and more and more since I first heard about it, about bringing back lockdowns and mask mandates and all this stuff. It only will go as far as you let it go. Shout out to DKMMA. Welcome to the party. Said, hope you're not hating on the most popular dude in the UFC right now. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. No, I'm actually feeling everything that he's saying right now. But I will call it out if he says some dumb shit. But welcome to the party. Lefty Lucy says, figure things out yourself and do not listen to gurus. So yeah, I guess the advice is the worst advice. Meaning, because I wasn't sure if you were coming from it in terms of giving advice or seeking advice, because I think it could go either way. That there are people who their worst vice is thinking that they know everything about everything and they have to be the authority on this, that, and the other. And then what you're talking about is there's people who always need to follow, have someone to follow instead of forging their own path. So yeah. Lefty Lucy said, I didn't comply with the first round of Beloved. Pure Bloods, what's good? Let's go.
But they're really fucking him. They hear everybody lost that lawsuit.
Oh, yeah. For the when they didn't.
They're
they
making
took away
go
his
to like
license.
social media, like court. Man, craziness.
That's crazy.
I won't hold that against you.
So real quick, just to let you guys know, I did a community post about when you guys are checking out the chat. So I'm going to do more of, since you guys are mostly looking at the chat itself, I'm just going to pull up the ones that I address.
But like, dude, I'm a fucking definition of a patriot. Like I
thought he was going to say I'm the definition of a beta. I'm like, okay. Definition of a patriot. I am for that. Let's go.
Patriot, that I'm borderline fucking radical. Where like, I'm borderlining in the domestic terrorist situation.
I saw your tweet recently. You said if they try to lock down Vegas,
dude,
again,
I'll be the first
let's
one.
Go fucking
let's
fight
go riot.
cops
Let's
with
go
riot
fight
gear
cops.
and shit.
But again, dude, with what?
Wait, is that a thing that's happening?
COVID's flaring up, and you just asking about it.
What do you think about that? Those kind of messages, though? Because like you're right about. I feel the same way about how we look at the Dana situation, how that shit's fucked up. But some of the stuff you say might be interpreted by other people like, yo, that's too far, or yo, he can't say that about just certain shit you said previously.
What otherwise? We gotta give me an example, man.
Well, probably like women or mostly lesbians. Like women, if lesbians watch your shit.
I think it was
like that interview you did with. I saw the one you recently did with Helen. I found it.
Yeah, I fucking love Helen.
It's hilarious, bro.
No, but like in the or like
I even hit it. Smells like Snow. You gotta tell your chick to cover her titties up, dude. She's walking to the gym, bro, and she's like wearing these tiny shorts and like titties, like you're in a fucking room filled with.
Shout out to Doodad Attack. Are you not hearing me? Let me know. Can you hear me? Yes or no? I'm gonna let the video play. Welcome, Doodad. Welcome. If you cannot hear me, please let me know.
Man,
that was hilarious.
We want to see that shit walking around. Like it makes us fucking feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Or I saw the Nina one you did, and you're like, let me tell you your whole.
You ever met Nina? Nina's awesome, bro.
Nina's
great, dude. It's funny because everyone thinks like.
So, I think that's you, Nick. I think that's you.
Funny though. And maybe she is, maybe she isn't. But I'm like, do you guys understand her boyfriend's with her 24/7, right? Like, if Nina wants to cheat, bro, she's gonna have to work her ass off because her boyfriend's with her 24/7.
Does he watch you do the interviews when you do them with her?
Yeah, no, he's videotaped. That's what people don't understand.
Keep it no filter.
I mean, I don't give a like. But again, and this is the thing, you guys.
Sean's always.
I'm also in the business of peddling smut. I'm just as much of an actor as Jake Paul.
Interesting. I would not have expected, because the way that he was talking about the Full Send podcast and saying they're that they're peddling smut as if it was some horrible thing. He was saying, yes, I respect the fact that you guys are getting rich off it, but it is smut. And so now for him to say that he also peddles smut, I'm kind of questioning what exactly do you mean by smut?
But My underlining message is don't be me. Don't be me. Don't act like me. Don't say the shit I say. Be a fucking man.
Thank you, Kelly.
Do the right fucking things. Don't be a Dylan. Don't be a Jake. Do the fucking right things.
So question with the trash talk shit with Dylan, is there any UFC fighters that take it too far? Like what about like McGregor, some of the shit he said?
I mean,
I want to actually make that into a poll for you guys. So right now our poll is running at Sean Strickland a good role model? Hit that if you have not. It's about to end with 69% saying yes. And I would, if I came in here before hearing this, I would have said no. But when you think about how the world is orientated, that we are so used to people having nice things to say, being good people. That's not really how it is. It's the people who have the balls to tell you what you need to hear. Those are the people who are good role models. Because maybe what you need to hear isn't the nicest thing, isn't the easiest thing to hear. But if somebody's going to do that, that is a good role model. So let's go. What did he just say?
D fighters that take it too far?
Oh, yeah. So let's say, did Connor take it too far? So I'm thinking specifically. So before you answer, I'm thinking that the worst he ever was in the fighting context was the Khabib presser and the bus incident. So you may decide that those aren't part of that somehow, or you might have other things. But that's where I'm coming from. So let me know, did Conor McGregor take it too far in any respect? Let me know in the comments below. Replay gang.
Like what about like McGregor, some of the shit he said?
I mean, he said the towel thing, but like my thing is, though, that was more of a dig on a religion and more of like a culture. And I kind of respect that a little bit. Like I'm like, but
you like insulting like a religion?
No. So
those battles are always way more fun to see, though.
You know what it is, though? Like I've laid off Islam because I have a lot of Muslim friends. And bro,
Lucy says he performs controlled snuff films with a referee. He's barbaric. Well, I mean, there's a referee, is there not? It's a sport. Is football barbaric? Is soccer barbaric? There's more injuries in those sports than there are in MMA. Lucy says Connor took too many drugs, if that's the question. I mean, if that's how you interpret it. Meltdown Media said the story of him breaking from being a neo-Nazi is a great story to tell anyone to break from the dogmatic thinking around you. Completely agree. I mean, like, how else can you, like, what better position can somebody be in to tell you, hey, you're a radical and you're taking things too far, from somebody who was the radical of all radicals and came back down to earth? Works for me. But he's got a lot of Muslim friends now. But something tells me, as the uber ultra patriot, borderlining on radical, I cannot see him just being like, yeah, Islam's cool. He's saying I laid off Islam because I have a lot of Muslim friends. But yeah, that's a bit of hypocrisy, Jay's saying. Laying off a subject due to having friends there, but everything else is fair game. I don't know if it's we have to hear the rest of this, because I could definitely just come on here and shit on Christianity all day and night. But I don't have the desire to do that, and I don't want to make a show for you that is that. So just because I am an atheist and very much dislike religion doesn't mean that because I'm not talking to you guys about how much I hate religion, then maybe not you specifically, I'm saying a lot of Christians. So I don't know. Let's see where he takes it. Multi-Mind Media said a lot of... Can't say that out loud. Lucy said he only stopped being radical when he started earning major money. Incorrect, ma'am. He was on his way after, I believe it was from training. And he only just started earning major money last week. Literally last week. So definitely not.
And they take it like...
You used to go in on them, or what?
I would go hard on Islam. But again, rightly fucking so. Right?
I told you. I knew it. I told you he wouldn't be like, oh yeah, Islam's great. So now this comes back to what Jay said, a little bit of hypocrisy. Let's see. Because while I'm not going to sit here and dog on religion all the entire show, when he brought it up, I gave it a look, didn't I? I'm not going to let it pass. I'm not going to, be pedantic about it and have to stop every time somebody mentions God. But that's only because you guys kind of already know. So maybe you're onto something, Jay. Let's see.
And bro, and they take it like
You used to go in on them, or what?
I would go hard on Islam, dude. But again, rightly so, dude. Like there's
I agree
a
with
difference
that.
between American values and Islamic fucking
For sure.
values.
Yup.
That someone had a conversation with you that changed everything.
Yeah, a guy Albert Durov. So I would go hard on Islam, bro. I mean, I'd post pictures of Muhammad. Like I would go hard.
Well, I guess post 9/11, it was a lot more
Yeah, what happened to that? Remember when we used to care about Islamic terrorism? What happened to that? I guess 15 years fighting a war, we won. Just kidding. Lucy says fighters who align with Muslims usually lose their next fight. Is that a real stat? Interesting. Melton My Media said he was main eventing fight nights 3 months ago to be champ. Yeah, but I mean, even that's not like money. When it comes to, I mean, we could, if somebody wants to look up what his show and win was, I'm not saying he was poor in the UFC, but I'm just saying the idea that he only stopped being radical when he started earning major money. It has not even been 1 week. So, and then I don't think as a challenger you even get pay-per-view points, right? So even last week, he would have still made, regular show and bonus money. So obviously, I'm sure there's extras that come with, from Dana for winning the belt. But yeah, so I'm only saying just barely in the main cards of pay-per-views. So since he's friends with Jews, they just don't tell him they are Jews. Just Anne Frank it. It
was different, I think, right?
I don't know.
Is that
man.
when it was?
Here's the thing, dude. I still like America's America, and I don't give a fuck about your country. Like,
Break. I meant to say based, and then I said braced.
Loser.
Let's try that again.
America's America, and I don't give a fuck about your country. Like,
Hell yeah.
Beast. There we go. That's how it's supposed to go.
China does horrendous things. There's so many countries that do horrendous things. And I don't think Islam is compatible with equality and freedom. And so I don't insult them. I don't dig like I used to dig. But if you put a camera, if Albert was in front of me, I would tell you I do not think Islam is compatible with equality,
American values.
With American values.
And that's just that's just a fact. That's just a fact. The watered down version of what American Muslims follow is not what's in the Quran. It's just not. And they are wholly incompatible. Like I said, don't start me on Anne Frank. Why? You got beef with Anne Frank? Like, damn.
It is totally different.
It
right?
is totally different.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to change your country. You could go do the fuck you want to do, but when you indoctrinate women to wearing a burqa, like, oh, it's their choice. When you indoctrinate women wearing a burqa, you can't leave your house without an escort. Like, this shit's fucking wrong.
Absolutely. And you heard, especially before the current version of wokeness came up, when everyone in America was so horribly oppressed, then you'd hear feminists who would talk about all the problems of American women. And then I would bring up women in like Saudi Arabia or Afghanistan, where, like you just said, they're not allowed to drive. They have to be in a beekeeper suit. They need an escort, all that stuff. I'm like, well, that's their culture. Like, do you care about these values or not? It can't be rules for thee, but not for me. Oh man, we might need to do a whole show on that. Anne Frank is a grifter. I can't believe it. God damn you.
And it's your fucking country. I'm not changing you. But in America, bro, keep that shit out of here.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, dude, I really respect this because you don't fear any backlash, or you just say whatever you want. You don't give a fuck.
But I tend to what I say is true. Like, from my opinion.
And the only reason I say that, and not to cut you off, but Adesanya even said, like, The UFC's worried about putting you on the stage.
Unassignable. Fuck.
Shout out to Liberty Plus TV. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. So lesbians are always angry because that's what they think masculinity is. I don't know. I can't attest to that, but it definitely is funny as hell. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Melton My Media said, yeah, eating bacon is America's #1 thing. How the hell could you be a Muslim and live here? Well, I mean, there's a lot of vegetarians, but who's worse? Okay, so let's. All right, this one's just for fun. Connor took it too far. 71%. This one's just for fun. Who's worse? Muslims or vegans? Oh, I cannot wait to hear what you have to say on this. Her uncle wrote the diaries. That's crazy. That's crazy. We got to do a deep dive. Definitely come to the after party in Discord, as we do every show. We head to the after party in Discord where you're not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. You can cam up if you want to. You don't have to. Either way, it's a grand old time. Definitely come so we can talk about Anne Frank and the BS. Of course, he is like, how are you not scared of the backlash? Oh, because he is so scared of the backlash. Yep. Melton said the bus was too far. Yeah, that was OD. That was OD. Lucy said they'll start replacing bacon with turkey bacon. Hell no. Hell no. That's not that. Oh man, I love it. Where the poll is. Oh, I love where the poll is. Replay gang, please be a part of this. Muslims or vegans? And I'm not sure is Lucy says she can't pick. They're both so horrible that she can't pick.
Fucking Chinese slut.
Yeah, right. But he says that, you could be a threat to the brand as well.
At the end of the day, man, like, maybe I'm autistic and I have no fucking filter. But, dude, it's hard for me. Like, whenever fucking I get a thought, it just fucking comes out, dude. But this is why people like me. Because you have LeBron James, that little Chinese slut. Let's talk about Mr. LeBron.
He is a Chinese little whore.
I mean, that guy has more money than fucking God himself. But that man is a fucking prostitute. That man is a fucking whore.
I don't even follow. I mean, I certainly don't follow basketball, but I don't follow LeBron James either. I don't. I'm not in that world. So the only time I hear about LeBron James is when he's doing some type of kowtowing, either to the woke mob or to the literal Chinese Communist Party. Why is that a thing? And I'm not someone who says like, oh, athletes should just shut up and dribble. No, you're an American. Say what you have to say. But why is that always what you have to say? I don't get it.
To China?
Yeah, well, China, to anybody that wants to give him just like Izzy.
He's jerking off President Xi.
Bro, like, let me ask you something. 100%, dude. Yeah. You fucking he's, that man won't even say Winnie the Pooh exists. That's how deep he is in that fucking China. But let me ask you something, bro.
He won't even say, oh, never mind.
How much would it cost for you right now, dollar amount, for you to raise a flag and say, look at the color of my skin, blah, blah, blah. I am Chinese. How much would that cost you to do?
All right, guys, numbers in the chat. For you to say on public, national, international TV that I wave the flag for the CCP, what dollar amount would it be? And do not tell me that you cannot be bought, because everybody has a number. And the ones who say they can't be bought, they have the lowest numbers. So I'm going to say, like, okay, let's start with what's too low. Certainly hundreds is too low. Thousands is too low. So we're talking at the very, very, very least, $10,000. Selling out for 10? No. So then we're moving up to like 50. I'd say $500,000. $500,000. And I'll wave the flag for the Chinese Communist Party. Dan said 50 cents. 50 cents, you traitor.
How dare you?
See, this is what I'm saying. Out of all of us, Lefty Loosely would be the one to take the lowest offer. Guaranteed. Oh, I'm just messing with you. Melton My Media said the biggest China grifter of them all. Who is this? Who are we looking I don't know who is. Oh, is this the American girl that competed for China? Let's see. Ellen Fengu, also whatever, is a freestyle skier born in the U.S. Competed for China halfpipe. At 18, she became the youngest Olympic champion in freestyle skiing while winning gold. I gotta scroll this out. Where are we? To political tensions between U.S. and China, the questions around her nationality, her switch from Team USA to Team China drew international attention and controversy at the beginning of the 2022 Winter Olympics. She is the first naturalized Chinese free skier, the first American with Chinese ancestry to win a gold medal in any other Olympic event, and the second Chinese free ski Olympic gold medalist after.
How dare you?
And they don't like. Let's see. Is there? I want to see if. Whoa! What the hell did I just do? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Okay, no. Control. Paid. Let's see if the word paid. Forbes listed her as the third highest paid. Okay, that's not gonna link to that, right? Yeah, no. Because again, I was gonna say I don't think that they get paid for being in the Olympics. I'm pretty sure you don't get paid for being in the Olympics. But if she's getting paid, do Olympic athletes get paid? Olympic athletes don't usually receive a traditional salary for competing in Olympics, unlike in other. They do receive bonuses if they earn gold or if they hold medals. Gotcha. So I mean, interesting. She definitely is a traitor if there ever was one. You were born and raised in America, and you're gonna do that for what? Certainly not $500,000. Unwanted Foe said, better dead than red. Melton My Media said, I would need generational wealth. Left Lucy said, yeah, I take the least donations. Said the donations whore. Oh, that's a low blow.
Give me a dollar amount. How much would that cost you?
Maybe 50 mil.
It'd have to be a lot. I'm sure Izzy did it for probably like 20K.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, bro, I say a lot of shit and I joke, but fuck, dude, China's fucking horrible. Look what they did with the lockdowns, bro. Look, China's a fucking horrible fucking place. They're putting Muslims in fucking concentration camps, locking people down, and money again.
Shout out to the Uyghurs that nobody.
I love money, but you would have to give me a big stack of money. I mean, it would have to that table better be fucking filled for me not to say that what you guys do is fucking wrong. But this is why people.
So there you go. You don't even have to wave the flag. You just got to say, I'm okay with what you guys do. Shout out to Melted Mind Media. Said, wave the flag of the Melted Nation, please. Always. Here you go. Every super chat comes with a treat for Morty. Thank you so much, sir. And I think, yes, sir, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Beat you out, Dan. He beat you out. Thank you so much, brother. Very much appreciated.
People like me because, people that don't have a voice and they don't have a platform, all they see the LeBron Jameses, they see the fucking Izzies, any other superstar. They see him just put their head down and say, give me my fucking Nike deal. Give me that fucking Nike money. Oh.
China's fucking
They're fucking listening.
They're listening. But shout out again to Melted Mind Media. The thing is, though, that with Izzy Adesanya, I mean, full disclosure, that is my favorite fighter. He is my favorite fighter, and he has been ever since the first time I saw him fight. I forget who it was, but it was the fight before Brad Tavares. So he has been my favorite fighter since then. And he spent a lot of his career in China, and a lot of his martial arts development was while he was living in China. So I think that's a little bit different than a LeBron James or John Cena being like, oh, everything you guys are doing is fine. Or homegirl over here just basically defecting. Probably because she knew, like, if I'm thinking about it, I would imagine, especially since she did win, that the Chinese skiers or snowboard skiers were probably not as good anyway. So she had a better chance at being ranked higher. I bet you that was it. I bet you that was it. You're all good, babe. Don't worry about it. All time. What are we? What? I'm not. Oh, I mean, okay. So top 5 fighters of all time. What I say is my favorite fighter of all time. I'm not sure that I would, but I'm having trouble with it. So let's say no particular order. We got Izzy. We've got Connor, because I'm a Connor era fan. He's the one who brought me into the sport. Then John Jones, and again, no order. Khabib and GSP. That's kind of where I don't know, because I need a smaller category, because like best strikers or best in this division or best, because the GOAT conversation, there's so much to it that it's hard to bring it in. But that's why I'm thinking about, like, is he my favorite of all time? I don't know, because right now he's my favorite, so it's hard to think about. Before he was my favorite, was was it different? But what about you guys? Who are your top 5 favorite UFC fighters or MMA fighters in general? Let me know in the comments below. I want to post that maybe they had some of her family held hostage. I mean, maybe, but probably not. She was born in America, raised in America, and they would. I mean, I guess it's possible, but are you just throwing that out there, or do you have like some type of evidence that would be the thing?
But then you have me that
President
says,
Xi heard that.
But then you have me that says, no, fuck that. China's fucking wrong. There's only 2 fucking genders. You guys are trying to ruin our fucking kids. You guys are infiltrating our fucking school system. Corporations are out to fucking get us. The American government needs to be overthrown. You guys are robbing our fucking paycheck to pay fucking Boeing to go bomb fucking people that don't need to be bombed. This is fucked.
Yeah, it is. This is what you call political normie. I'm just saying, if this is what is considered political normie, then I need to celebrate, because I thought this is radical right-wing, MAGA extremism. That's what I thought. But if this is just normie political positions, then hey, I'm with it. Shout out to Daniel Cabrera. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. All right, so Melton My Media's top 5 UFC fighter or MMA fighters. Anderson Silva, Chael. I forgot about Chael. Yeah, I definitely have to throw Chael in there. But again, fighter, I don't know if he wasn't that good of a fighter in that sense in terms of all time, but he definitely changed the game. And I'm definitely somebody who appreciates that it's sports entertainment, and it's not supposed to be a straight up sport. And it's way more interesting by being sports entertainment and leaning on the sports side. Because you have like NFL, you have UFC, and then you have wrestling. And I know some of you guys are wrestling fans, but I just can't get behind it because the stories are not they don't grab me. And if they did, I wouldn't care that it's scripted. But they don't. They don't. And so the stories that come from MMA, specifically UFC, they're better stories, and they're real. So maybe they're better because they're real. But it's just better. So Anderson Silva, Chael, GSP, Crow Cop, that's a good one, and Boss Rutan. So I was a little bit before my time. I definitely am familiar with him, but I never saw him fight. So Lefty Lucy says UFC blows.
How dare you?
You're just trying to hurt me tonight, aren't you? So my top 5 favorite boxers: Hagler, Lewis, Tyson, Jones Jr. and Hamed, I think. The lefty rig sport. Is that what you're talking about? Boxing? I mean, it definitely is a rig sport for sure. Yeah. When Melton Miami said when he was kicking Silva's ass, I feel love with his fight game and talk. Fair enough. Lucy agrees. That's why I don't watch sports at all. They're all fixed. Yeah, I actually just saw, I think it was something on TikTok about how the there was, it was a conspiracy theory type thing, but how all sports are directly fixed through the officiating. And I mean, it didn't come with any hard facts, but it made a very, very compelling case. I don't care. He lost to the best triangle ever. Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But the fight game talk, even though I don't love what it is, as someone who came in as a Conor era fan, the fact that I loved Conor, that was built, his game, his persona was built on the back of who Chael was and who his character was in the game. So absolutely, he is one of the all times. So I don't watch sports and all that. Yeah. No way Izzy and Sean was fixed. I don't think that it's just like, I don't think it's scripted. I think that there's certain things that think about politics. There's no way that anybody scripted Trump getting into office, but we do know that there's people pulling the strings. So there is a level of reality in the sense that we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there are ways for people behind the scenes to set things up in a way that when everything falls, it should be as we want it. So I mean, there's no way they fix unless you want to get really conspiratorial and say that it was fixed and that they paid Izzy to take a fall so that they could get the rematch, and then but I don't even think that would be the best option for the UFC if they were gonna go and do that. So I don't know. Melton My Media says, an old WWE fan, Chael had it in the bag for me. Fair enough. Lucy said, this was my favorite when I was a child and needed entertaining. Nowadays, I don't care for the bread and circus. Fair enough. But that's the part that I love most about specifically MMA, specifically the UFC, is that there's so much more than the sport involved in following the sport. Understanding who Sean Strickland is and thinking about whether is he just playing up this part of his personality? Is he pulling a Colby Covington? Is he, and then the mix of different personalities and characters. It's just so much better than any other sport. I mean, no question. MMA is the best sport, hands down. Change my mind.
You guys, it's kept me from making a lot of money, but I'll still say it.
I think, that's what's scary about China is like, I guess the average person doesn't know. Like, do you think that they're literally just like indoctrinating our society?
Yes,
and,
bro.
like,
look at
they must
TikTok.
Control our media, right?
Look at their TikTok. They have and I'm a libertarian, you guys. They have regulations on their TikTok because they understand how.
Put a 1 in the chat if you don't know what he's about to say. Put 1 in the chat if you don't know how Chinese TikTok is different than the TikTok we have here.
Detrimental it is to their society to let filth be shot into the youth. But what they do is they load it on us. They recommend shit. They recommend, you could fucking go right now and see, like, you'd be a little kid looking at titties right now on the TikTok. They don't give a fuck, dude.
How do you convince?
Yeah, that's it. The TikTok in China is all about, teaching STEM and getting kids smarter and getting them to think better, where it's the complete opposite here. And so, zooming out a little bit, when we talk about World War III, it's not necessarily, talking about nukes and only nukes. This is psychological warfare. And I'm on TikTok every day, and I can see that I'm spending more time every time I open the damn app. But it's so good. It's so good. Guys, can I just get 3 more likes, please? 3 more likes. Thank you so much.
Someone that doesn't agree with gun control, because like I think the average person, obviously with all the mass shootings and stuff
America
that go on,
would be safer with no guns. If right now you could, I'm a big gun owner. If right now you could snap your fingers and remove every gun from America,
including illegal guns,
illegal,
Yeah.
even illegal guns, legal guns.
So only the legal guns are gone. So we only have illegal guns, and that makes the world safer.
What?
I was willing to be like, okay, if all the guns evaporated, then theoretically nobody has that power. But I don't understand how getting rid of only the legal guns and leaving all of the illegal guns makes anything any better at all. Nick has a question for everyone. Since he's been, if anybody has any things, let him know. But I think you are doing a fantastic job, Nick. Thank you so much.
leave illegal.
Yeah, whatever, leave them. It would probably be a safer place. Eventually, they'd get filtered out. But
How?
being a man, like our founding fathers, like especially after coming from like a tyrannical government, they looked at all these freedoms that we thought we should have. You know, no
And guns was right at the top of the list.
warrantless searches. They looked at guns. You have the right to protect yourself. We have a dangerous freedom. No one wants to live in a fucking cage. And I would take a dangerous freedom any day, man. Any fucking
Freedom is dangerous. Freedom is dangerous. He who would give up safety in the place of liberty deserves neither. This man's based as hell. I don't know what y'all are talking about. He might be, not super in the weeds about politics, but he's definitely not like just a normie. Hey, shout out to Victor Spade 89 over on Twitch. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. We are just checking out Sean Strickland on the Full Send podcast. Walter Post said, well, you shouldn't have sent me money, but other than that, me? You guys know I'm slow with the joke sometimes.
day. So it's like, I think the real thing is, dude, at the end of the day, to go full circle, we just got to make men again. And that's a hard fucking thing to do.
I heard, I see a lot too. That could be one reason. Like it could even be China, like lobbying to do more like gun laws, because I think that's one of the reasons why no one wants to ever invade the U.S. is because there's many citizens.
I don't believe in.
Yeah, shout out to Martian overlords, and unarmed citizens are a foundation of feudal systems. That I was hoping he was going to go somewhere with that and have some, very interesting. Oh, let's end this poll that 89% of you said vegans are worse than Muslims. I think that's hilarious. I also think some of you were scared to say Muslims because you think that the boogeyman is going to come after you, but that's just my own personal bias. But yeah, I was hoping that he would have he would have expounded on that a little bit more. But it sounds like he was just talking out his ass
with guns.
I don't believe in that, because I'll tell you what, we have nuclear weapons. Like what do you think Ukraine is? You think Ukraine is Ukraine's not a war between Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine is a war between America and Russia. Bingo. And the reason why you'll never see a boot on the ground in Russia, because there'll be a nuclear war.
Who wants to tell him? Who wants to tell him? There's already boots on the ground, homie. I'm sorry to tell you.
It will never, ever be a World War III, because the moment we put a boot on the ground of any country, it's all out war. So you have these small little China or Vietnam proxy wars, Afghanistan proxy wars. We're all trying to buy for pieces. And all it does, dude, it's like the broken window fallacy. All it does.
Broken window fallacy? It's not a okay, well, what's the fallacy that you're about to bring up? Because as I understand that if you, it's based on the idea that if a window on a building is broken, then it's more likely that somebody breaks another window. So if that's a fallacy, then again, you're going to have to explain that one.
It makes your dollar, it makes you, I mean, God, I'm going deep on this motherfucker, but you have to work for months to go pay for war that you don't even fucking want.
True.
We have lost all control of America, and it is run by fucking corporations. I mean, you look at Hunter Biden, you Biden supporter?
No.
I mean, nobody should
say hell no. Oh my God. Martian Overlord said, did you know that Russia warred with Ukraine before the Romanov Empire started? I did not. I did not, but does not surprise me one little bit.
Nobody should be a Hunter Biden.
No.
It is factual. It is fucking factual.
I wouldn't mind partying with Hunter Biden maybe once or twice.
Yeah, but I, mean,
I don't
all,
like Joe
all the
Biden.
cocaine, right? All the
Hunter
all the fun
seems kind of
times.
dope.
But
I don't know about that. He seems like the kind of person where he would make partying not fun. He seems like the kind of person who has to go so hard that you're like, I don't know if I'm enjoying this. I'm a little bit scared. I would not want to party with Hunter Biden. I'd be curious where he gets his stuff, you know? But I don't know about having him over.
But it is factual that Hunter Biden sold influence of our country to Ukraine. And guess what happened fucking a year later? We're sending $100 billion to Ukraine. Why is it? It's so ironic to me that you have Hunter Biden going to Ukraine on the board of oil companies. Now we just spent $100 billion. Like,
what? You think there's a connection? You don't think it's just about Hunter Biden's business prowess? Come on. Obvious.
the shit that goes on in this country is means for a fucking revolution. And it will never happen because they have stripped the nutsack from men. We have no dignity. We have no purpose.
There's still a lot.
There is. That's the black pill position. I think right now, we as the men of this generation have been stripped of our balls. But I don't think that is, I was going to make a trans joke, but I'm just going to stay away from that. Unlike that, we can get them back. It's something you have to build up. But what we're talking about is just pure masculinity, being a real man, taking care of the shit that you got to take care of and not bitching about it because nobody cares. That's what, my life sucks too, guys. Everybody's life sucks. Everybody's got shit going on, but you got to push through and be able to fix it because now it seems like a whole a swath of the population is just resigning to, okay, well, I got to deal with how to cope with the fact that I can't do anything at all. So I'm going to sit at home and not do anything. And, I have time blindness and all of this crazy stuff. It's a legitimate mental illness. No, it's not.
A lot of Americans that are, I feel like, patriots.
No, there are a lot of patriots.
Like if you go to
older guys,
if you go to like the South and like stuff like that.
No, but I think when the youth doesn't even know
over.
what's going on, bro.
I think they do.
That's completely incorrect. The youth is way more into politics than they ever have been, which is a bad thing because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's good that they care, but the Dunning-Kruger effect is real. These high school kids thinking they, look at David Hogg. Come on. You said you're good here, Lutch. I get banned most other places, bruv. I got a copyright warning, so this might get copyrighted. I do not know how long we're gonna make it, but we are blitzing through as long as we can, as hard as we can. But thank you. Daniel says, not knowing how to use a watch or calendar is not a mental illness, it's laziness. Bingo. Yup. Timelines, use alarms, no excuse. But they're blind to time. So it's a medical issue. I was gonna come up with some BS, but I can't even. Melton My Meaning said, like such from the beginning, and it will suck to the end. And all of that suck. There are spots of amazing, and that's what you live for. Yeah, there's highs and lows in life. If you wallow in the lows, then you will never get the highs. The lows are going to come either way. But you have to be able to take that on, understand, feel your feelings. Feel it. Don't just try to push them away and act like they're not happening. That is bad. That's going to cause you to blow up in some other way or, have some other legitimate mental illness. Feel your shit. Be in your feels for however you need to be in, and then you get the fuck out of it. And you realize, okay, this is shitty. I don't like this. But it is what it is. That's a good form for blindness. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be a type of blind, time blindness is the way to go.
There's a lot, bro.
But they
I
have
disagree.
erased American history. You are taught that it is bad to be American. You are taught that our founding fathers, you want to quote them, they're slave owners. You can't quote them. They're bad people. Tear down their fucking statue.
Yep. And this is from the Zoomer generation. No, let me not even say that. It's from the millennials. Millennials, I tell you how much I hate politically hate my generation. We created all of these, and it's not our fault. It's definitely the boomers' fault for being bad at parenting, but it's also our fault for not growing up. And then Zoomers were like, okay, well, I mean, we're younger than millennials, and millennials are doing that, so we're good. And it's a trickle down effect that's not helping anybody.
Like, no, these men were
I
brilliant.
think it's like 50-50 though. I mean, pretty much what happened in the last election. Like,
But again, you gotta understand, we're at a cusp of a new generation.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like we don't count as the 18-year-olds anymore. We don't count anymore.
That's a hard thing to accept when you realize that you're no longer the tastemaker or like not that personally, but your age. That the people your age are no longer deciding what's cool. It's a weird feeling because you never think about when you're younger, like, oh, I gotta be cool, I gotta da. But then when you get older, like, wait, I can't be cool anymore. I thought I had a few more years. Not yet. The Toys R Us generation. Facts. Yo, if you never had a trip with your parents and siblings to go to Toys R Us and spend hours in there, and then mom or dad says you can pick one thing, then did you really even have a childhood? There you go. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
The new generation is fully indoctrinated to hate America.
Hell yeah.
And it's
A lot of them.
Did it actually fire you up then when Adesanya said the TikTok dance on your grave thing?
no, I don't fucking even watch UFC, bro. I love UFC and I love training, but like I stay away from that. Adesanya, Izzy, the Chinese slut. Maybe he knocks me out, maybe he doesn't. But at the end of the day, dude, the whole world knows that you're a fucking piece of shit.
Dan says, I was never cool to begin with. I am fine with this. Hey, that's the way to go. I wanted to be cool so bad. We were just talking the other day about how my hair was never straight like this. I don't know what happened, but when I tried to grow out an emo haircut in the early noughties, it would just kind of grow out and be like frizzy. Again, I don't know what happened, but I was like, if I could have had, and I'll test this, if I could have had hair like this when I was 15 and I could have, been that guy, I would have gotten, number one, I would have gotten laid so much more. And number two, I just would have been so cool, man. I would have been so cool. One time is all you need. Yeah. Oh, it was an hour away. Yeah. I mean, Jersey has malls everywhere. So if there wasn't a Toys R Us, there was a KB Toys, which was a smaller version of the same thing. So, man, like, kids just don't play with toys anymore, right? Like, after age, 3 or 4? Do kids play with toys or do they just get stuff on their iPads? Genuine question. If you have kids, do kids play with toys after age 4 or 5? Martian said people with the economy remove parents from the home and the kids not have parents around to help them understand life. Left being raised by the fantasies on screens. Yeah, it's I mean, and we all saw it coming. We meaning, the public. But going back to the boomers, they knew it. They saw it. Even the people who, the Steve Jobs of the world, the Zuckerbergs of the world, this was later on, but the Cardi B's of the world, they're like, yeah, we make this stuff, but we don't let our kids use it. Are you stupid? Why would we do that? And just all of us just were swept into this thing that, there was no phrase that if something is free, then you're the product. We all know that phrase now. But there was, the iPad generation. There was no, there was no free anything. before that. And there still isn't, but we just, you know, I don't know. Dan says, we were broke. I shopped at KB because it was bootleg Toys R Us. I mean, it was just I don't know if it was it that much cheaper? I think it was just, for me, it was just smaller because my parents were cheap as hell. We weren't broke, thankfully, but they were cheap as hell. And KB was a definite stop anytime we were going to the mall. Dan said, my daughter's age, she plays with toys all the time. Okay, cool, good. She's 8. Awesome. All right, good. We haven't lost our generation entirely. Melted My Media says, my 2-year-old nephew plays with toys in one hand and Paw Patrol in the on the tablet in the other. Sad.
And everything I'm talking about, you further the agenda of trash. And when you look in the mirror, you laugh.
It's not KB. It's KAYBEE, guys. All right. Thank you. Sorry, what was he saying?
Fucking piece of shit. And everything I'm talking about, you further the agenda of trash. And when you look in the mirror, you lack all dignity and self-respect. But, you know, and this is the issue. Again, you're not an American, but you watch politics.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, I mean, American politics is just, especially now, especially in the internet age, American politics kind of is dictate. I don't know if I want to say dictates, but let's just, for lack of a better word, dictates what goes on in a lot of areas in the rest of the world. So I don't know that you could, especially in Canada, I don't know if you could be a political person without being up on American politics. I don't know. Anybody from Canada want to argue with that?
Breeding a generation to hate America. Like, look at Disney. We have like great
no
Disney
way.
movies. Like, you know, you take Snow.
Wait. Yeah. Okay. So right here. So formally. So maybe, yeah, from 97, bruh. 97. You a little baby ass. What did I say? KAYBEE. From 1922 to 1996. You can never prove me wrong. Moving on.
White. Now you have, even Disney is breeding people to hate. I don't want to say the white male because I think
it is though.
Give an example.
So you take this.
They took the prince out of Snow White, right?
Yeah, he's not gonna kiss me. He's not gonna save me. I'm my own woman. They are breeding everything that made America great. They are breeding out of people, and they are making people hate this country. And man, this country, we did a lot of wrong shit, but it was founded by fucking brilliant, great fucking men. And it's a damn shame that we're demonizing them, because if we all look back and took inspiration, have you ever read the writings of our founding fathers?
The writings?
Yeah, writings. Like,
yeah, like you take a pen or a quill at the time and then you write words on a paper about what's in your head. You know, they didn't have TikTok back when they found the country, so they would write things.
I haven't read them, but I mean, I know some of the Constitution stuff.
So
you know some of the Constitution stuff. So no, is the answer to that question.
Oh, there's one of my favorite generals. He's actually a Confederate general, but he was avidly against slavery. But he was a general for the Confederacy because he felt duty to his country or state.
I wonder how many of the people, just raw numbers in the Civil War, were fighting for the Confederacy, but were against slavery. And you know, I mean, you heard a lot of I'm gonna call it cope. That, you know, the Confederate flag is just about Southern pride. I think that's kind of cope. It definitely is tied to racism, but I'm not saying that it can't, especially at that time, that it couldn't have been that you were, yeah, like there had to have been people who didn't like racism, but didn't want to give up that freedom for other Southern slave owners, and to say, well, I don't have slaves, but I will die for your right. Interesting. Lefty Lucy says Sean needs to watch his mouth. He's in domestic terrorist land by today's standards. Yeah, well, he said at the beginning, he was like, I am a radical. Damn near nearing on. What did he say? Nearing on. Did he say? I don't know. I forget. Yeah, I've been there. FAO Schwartz is the biggest toy store before Toys R Us in New York City. It was in the Home Alone, that store, the toy store that he's in. That was an experience. That was an experience.
Stonewall Jackson, Thomas Jackson. And you hear these men, right? You go look at love.
I thought Stonewall Jackson was Andrew Jackson. Oh, I guess not. All this time, whenever somebody has said Stonewall Jackson, I was thinking Andrew Jackson. Oh, wait, that's Andrew Johnson? No, Jack. Yeah, I'm getting messed up. Martian Overlord said the Dukes of Hazzard worked to rehab the Confederate battle flag. I mean, I think it worked for a while, but it was never gonna survive. It was never gonna survive. Think about the landscape we're living in. There was no way. There was no way. Even what he's talking about right now with Stonewall Jackson saying, I'm against slavery, but I'm fighting for my Southern rights. And that's just not a thing. That's not a thing that would be accepted by a normie. It's the symbolism. They understand. They understand how important it is. And that's why not only do they fly the pride flag instead of the American flag. That's why we have the Black National Anthem being sung at sports ball games alongside the American flag. There's a desire to separate from what is seen as the core American values. And I think it's made too easy, as I talk about all the time, it's too easy for these non-religious people to fall into the ideology of the religion is, or excuse me, the government is my religion because they follow science. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But that's obviously not the case. And so again, we need to have an American identity for those of us who do not believe in a God, but still want to live by and espouse what you would call Christian values, what I would call Enlightenment values. They're the same thing. We don't need to argue amongst each other about how we came to agree on the same thing. Well, there's half of the country, if not more, who is actively trying to take away our way of life. The Democrats seceding again, hopefully. Yeah, science, bitch. I always wished I could do the Jesse bitch, but he just has it on point. He can do it a little bit better.
Stonewall Jackson, Thomas Jackson. And you hear these men, right? You go look at love letters they send to their wives. And they talk with such a higher level of learning, such a level of intellect that you read it and you're like, man, we're fucking dumb. What they do is they make us look at these men who should be pillars of masculinity, who should be pillars of people we strive to be. And we say, nah, they're fucking trash. They didn't want women to work. They didn't want women to vote. Like, no, these men would have died for their wife and died for their country. So they're slowly just eroding everything that is the American male. And it's a damn shame.
I saw you.
Me too, Martian Overlord. Me too.
Say we should go back to when women couldn't vote or work.
So, I joke about that. But I also don't.
But they do say women, the reason they corporations are, like you say, they wanted women to work was just to get them out of the household, right?
100%, man.
To get the kids in school.
All right, let's go. Let's make that a poll. Okay. So obviously, in a liberal society, we want people to be treated equally under the law. This is not that. I'm asking if you think the world would be better if women never got the right to vote and work. Just asking if you think. I'm not saying it's moral or correct, but do you think it would have led to a more peaceful and happy society? put that poll up right now.
You could say 19. You could say after World War II, we really indoctrinated women to working. But look at the effect it's had. And, correlation isn't always affected. Causation isn't always affected to correlation. And that is factual. And there is that. But if you just go look at every metrics of wealth, of individual freedom, it is going down the moment women have become fully indoctrinated in the workforce. And I think women should work, but
yeah, damn right.
We're going to a place in America where we're going to look back and it's just going to be the dignity of men, of children is going to be absolutely ruined.
I think I saw it too. I don't know if it was like Ben.
Why is my pause button not working? But yeah, I mean, shout out to Daniel Cabrera. If you did not see my Star Spangled Banner video, he sent me the video that I was reacting to, and it was just like America boner, hell yeah! Like we hear the Star Spangled Banner all the time, but it's so easy to be desensitized to like, oh yeah, it's just a song. But they tell the story of like what actually happened. It's only like a 9-minute video or something, and the difference between Americans and every other man on earth is liberty. It is the possibility to be more than you are, the possibility to have a legacy. That just doesn't exist in other countries.
And Shapiro, Joe Rogan, but they said it's kind of true. Like women are actually getting shamed sometimes for like wanting to just be a stay-at-home mom and take care of their kids. Because they're like, you should have a career, you should have a 100%. Career. But actually it's like a study that what makes a woman most happy is like having a child and like staying home and taking care of her child. Like
something that we knew for millennia. But then, like he's saying, the propaganda came in. It's like, well, I got to be a strong, independent, don't need no man. Except the man who signs my paycheck.
That's what makes a woman truly happy. But they're shamed. Like, oh, you're a stay-at-home mom. Like, you let your husband make all the money and like you don't have a career. Because, and then again, they work and they get depressed.
It's I don't want to say conspiracy. It is a scheme from corporations to make people more mindless and consumer in line with the government. Women, if you would tell a woman as a young, hey, you know what? You're a young woman. I want to get married to you and I want to go work a job and you're going to have a good life and you can raise a kid. They would probably love that, but that's not the case. You can't, what's the average? You probably don't even fucking know this. What is the average income for a family?
Oh, for a family, I think it's like 85, right? Pretty sure.
I don't know. I thought I saw something low, like 50 or something.
No, per person.
No, 55,000.
Yeah. Really?
For household or per person? That's got to be per person.
Something crazy. Yeah.
So you take the rent. Let's say, what is rent now? He's 2,500, 25, California, even more. California, do you want to buy I
mean, true, but you're also getting paid more in California, but
looking at 32, 3,500, just to rent. How the fuck are you supposed to raise a family and have a woman raise your kids on $55,000 and paying fucking rent? And
well, the government will subsidize my life because I kicked daddy out of the home. Don't you like that? You guys love when we do that, right?
This is where the conspiracy even goes worse. And I don't know the solution, but if you look at the pay from top down, let's just say top CEOs, workers, this is backed up. It's gone like this. The wage gaps are getting way, way worse.
I mean, that's definitely the wage gap. If we're going to talk about a wage gap, I am of the opinion that people who have obscene amounts of money have taken advantage of laws that corrupt politicians and corporations have put into place. The laws themselves are corrupt. The politicians themselves are corrupt. So it's not about, you don't need to be corrupt to get that kind of money because the laws are already set up for corrupt people to make money, to hide money, to shell companies, all that stuff. Like once you hit that level where it's like, oh, you're one of us now. Here's how we do this. And we get 10,000 times richer. That's why there's nobody who's like, who has like, I mean, obviously there are people, but there's no significant portion of the population that has $10 billion. You either have, a bunch of millions, or you have like $50 billion, because that gap that he's talking about is ginormous. One Defoe said, different areas of the U.S. you can live off 55K. It won't be a lavish life, but if you're not obsessed with material things, you'll be very happy. Oh, absolutely. But he said per household. That means you're only making 22.5. So I mean, I get maybe he meant to say per person, but still. Martian says, in my town, you can subsist on 30,000 or less. I think, yeah. I mean, I think if I could bring in 25K for the entire year, and I could. I would be able to quit my job because I wouldn't need all the gas money to drive around the state. I would be able to live, pay my mortgage payments, get food, and just live a very basic life. Now, I would like to be making more than that as whenever I get more established. But I'm saying you don't need to be making bank. As Unwanted Foe is saying, if you're not obsessed with material things, like I don't buy stuff unless it's directly functional. I can't I can't remember the last time I bought clothes other than my6shirt.com. But I think it's just a culture of people keeping up and like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, and then the ease of whether it's DoorDash or it's OF, and it's like, well, she's right here and I'm a loser, so let me give money. I think it's just too easy to waste money these days on top of everything else.
And man, it's a fucking shame, dude. And I don't know how we fix it. I don't know what we do. Maybe we got to go burn down some fucking corporations or maybe demand more.
Let's not burn down any corporations, but I'm all about looking for solutions.
I go to shits before it gets fucking.
Yeah,
it's a scary thing.
Facts.
What about
it is gonna get darker before the dawn. It is definitely gonna get worse before it gets better. We remember the fourth turning. We are in the weak men times. The bad times we are the weak men. I don't care how physically strong you are. I don't care that I'm the short puny guy. We as men are weak, and we are bringing about bad times. So individually, we need to do what we can to be less weak, to be stronger. And even though many of us on this side of of culture, even though we may be, if you split it in half, a lot of us would probably be on the higher percentile. Probably not me, but point being, this fight needs to continue because we are only just now entering the bad times. Unwanted Foe said, too many obsess over needing an Instagram-like lifestyle. Social media.
How about you? Do you have a girlfriend or you just date around?
I have a girlfriend.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, guys, when I don't have a girl in my life, I turn into a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do.
When you don't, so you're not a psycho now, is what you're saying.
What?
Okay.
Like, and this is, I always struggle with this.
Good psycho, but he's definitely a psycho.
I tell her this time. There's times where I'm like, man, I want, like, you go on Instagram and you see all these big titty Instagram models like liking your shit, and it gets to your head a little bit. It gets to your head like, oh man, I kind of want that. And this is the problem being a man, but it's hard to say no. It's hard to say no.
Not if you don't follow thirst traps. Not if you don't follow thirst traps. You are getting nothing from I used to just like, I wouldn't like any pictures, but I would, just follow some because, hey, I like looking at pretty women, sue me. But even that, just building up their follower count. Even if you're not commenting, heart, fire, slay queen, even if you're not doing it, just by engaging, just by building their follower count, you are contributing to all the problems that we're talking about. So I think you should go through, like, this is my Instagram. Let's see what's on here. We got philosophy of science. We got Luke Hazley. Shout out to Luke Hazley from TLA. We Need to Talk, another awesome YouTube channel. Luke Hazley again. And Real Nathan Daly, an amazing YouTuber. So, I mean, that's just a few scrolls, but you're not going to find that stuff. And temptation is real. So if you all these girls, if you're just scrolling on a normal day to see, what your nephew is up to and what the scores of this are and whatever, and while scrolling through that, you get a bunch of thirst traps. Well, yeah, it's going to be hard to say no. So unfollow them. Put a 1 in the chat if you follow 0 thirst traps. Instagram, TikTok, whatever. If you follow 0, put a 1 in the chat. Martian said, with mental fortitude, inner calm, and mental focus, a person can expand their potential. Absolutely.
But I know what? If I were to break up with my girlfriend, she would leave me and I would go back to single and I'm start fucking all these top 10s models. There's a moment where like, I'm going to feel so shitty, not shitty about myself, but like so empty inside where like, I just become angry. You go have sex with a top 10, whatever the fuck you want. Like,
there we go. I was, good for you, Lucy. But obviously, a little bit different for the men. Amonte Pro said, I have so many OF accounts blocked on Twitter. Yeah, that's the worst. Where like it's just out there. Now, I'm not somebody who is saying that all men should completely abstain from P-Hub type content. Nor do I. I just don't. It's not a regular thing. It's not something that I'm obsessed with. It's honestly, if you want me to keep it 100, most of the time is either like when I'm like almost asleep, or if I've woken up in the morning and I have time to go back to sleep and I'm falling asleep, but I got that morning wood and it's like, oh, just go away. Sometimes it's easier to just throw on something and go back to sleep. That's mainly 99% of the times that I'm on P-Hub. That's why. And I don't see a problem with that. The problem is when it becomes a thing that we're talking about. When it becomes a pattern, and hopefully it doesn't ever get that far, but it becomes a habit and an addict. Oh no. Martian said, I got lots of bots and scammers who I crew with for hours or days. I don't know what that means, but get the thirst traps out your life.
And I sit in my apartment alone. I'm just thinking, I'm just fucking pissed off. I'm angry. I'm just living for myself.
Why? Because it's just like empty.
I'm just living for yourself, man. You're just living to be a sin. I'm not religious, but you're living to indulge. You're not.
Okay, I wasn't gonna bring it up. But what did he just say? I'm not religious. Well, then why before did you talk about the country being godless? If you're godless, and if you're not godless, you don't follow a religion, then why? Like, it just pisses me off. It just pisses me off because to a Christian person, they see that like, oh, okay, this person has the same types of beliefs that I do. To somebody who's not a Christian, they say, oh, they're into that religion stuff. They're not for me at all. When he has things to say that can resonate with either or both. Stop forcing religious language into places where it doesn't need to be.
Not living for anything bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
The only thing you're living for is money. And as you get older, you start realizing, man, it's like, it's bad for the soul.
Yeah. Why does God need to be a part of that sentence? Why does God need to be a part of that sentiment at all? That's my atheistic rant for the day.
The more you live for it, the more depressed you are, and instead of looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, hey, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to live for something bigger. You fucking double down. And then you're going to find yourself being 50, 60 years old, being a miserable, fucking depressed, drinking yourself to sleep every night.
You gotta meet the right girl though, too, right?
Yeah,
You can't just settle down with
How long have you been with your girlfriend?
Dude, going on like 2 years now.
That's a pretty long relationship.
But you know what? No good thing on my girl is she accepts me. And I'm a crazy motherfucker, you guys. Like, I don't beat women. I like to cuddle. I'm a soft guy.
I knew it. I had a feeling that he was a soft guy. Like, I'm like that too. I'm a soft ass dude. And you guys know about my beta past. And I'm not, there's a difference between being sensitive and being just a straight up beta. But you could just tell. Likes to cuddle, likes to be sweet and romantic. Like, come on, man. All men. That's all of us. Men are the true romantics. soft like a rock. Nah, I believe him. I believe him. I think he like. Maybe you won't understand this if you've never been in like a legit long-term relationship. But when you get to that point where you can start acting like silly, goofy, where you would be embarrassed if anybody else heard you, except with that one person, that's life, bro. That's I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Multi-pass? How is that relevant? What are we talking about? I mean, I love the Fifth Element, but
what like
cuddles
movies
are
too?
dope.
What movie are you throwing on?
So what?
Like what movie would
I
you
don't
throw
really
on?
watch movies, dude. But I'm not like it's hard for me to.
You don't watch any TV?
Dude, she's into the cooking show, so like lately I'll like sit down. And
Top
just
Chef?
with her.
You've
But
been baking cupcakes and shit.
Oh,
on the
dude,
low.
I watch Top Chef, bro. Barbecue Brawl.
Yeah, Master Chef's great too.
Yeah, Master Chef.
Anything with Gordon Ramsay's fire. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of, but
He's a big UFC.
Again, I love everything. What's his name? Steiny. Everything that Steiny says, Sean either ignores or just like, nah, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Is he a big UFC guy? I mean, he's
Yeah.
angry. He's just an angry guy. He seems like a nice guy, but sometimes he talks to people in a way where I'm like, if you talk to me like that, I'm probably gonna pull my gun and shoot you.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
Have you had an issue with that where someone's tried to press you in like at a bar in public and you like,
yeah, I don't really go out. Nothing good when we come. We want to talk about, I got arrested when I was 19.
For what?
Just hit two guys at a party. They deserved it, but broke their faces. And next thing you know, I fucking fighting 2 felony charges in court. Nothing good happens when you go out, man. You ever been arrested?
Yeah.
What'd you get arrested for?
Well, we do a lot of pranks. I don't know if you've seen any of our prank shit.
No, but I heard.
That don't count. That don't count. When the cops are like, oh, you're one of these. All right, let's just book you and whatever. When you're like not sure what's going on and you are potentially in real trouble and you're locked up and there's murders in the same holding tank, a little bit different. Although Amina said, Steiny is the butt of every joke for the Nelk Boys, but he plays his role to a T and making bank. Fair enough. I don't know that I would want that to be my role, but I certainly would take 2 million subscribers. Marshall said, time is not important. Only life is important. From there, I slide to the theory that God is love or God is life, tearing away the idea of a man, a mad old man on a cloud. I mean, I hear you, and I understand where you're coming from. But I have a problem with saying God is love or especially God is love or God is life. Those are 2 very different words. And if we're talking about the core of the universe, the most important thing to our life, then how could it be just like, well, it might be something like this or that? How do you know then that it's important? How do you know that it's anything? Because love is love. Life is life. So then where does God fit into life if life is already life and love is already love? This just sounds like you're saying that there's that life is important and you want to find love in your life. And I'm totally on board with that. And I'm also on board with the idea that you find that kind of life by following the types of values that are in the Bible. I just don't understand why we need to talk about God, whether it's a man in the an old man in the clouds, or it's some amorphous idea that you came up with, or read in a philosophy book somewhere. Like, I don't understand the purpose that it serves. I see a lot of the damage that it does to people who think like I do, but they aren't smart enough to figure it out. I see a lot of damage there, but I don't see the benefit. Surely you guys will all agree that your typical leftist atheist is a piece of shit person that you wouldn't want anywhere near you. And largely because of their lack of values. I think we would all agree with that. Then stop forcing religious language. Stop. Every time the word God or religion comes out of your mouth, before you say it, think, is it specifically this? Because if not, then I can reach a lot more people by just saying the same exact thing, but not use religious language.
I heard it was good.
I did. What was the first time? The first one's too long. The second one was in Texas. We did. We got big off doing fake employee pranks.
Okay.
So we'll go into and like put on the best, and then like fuck with the customers and the employees.
That's how they got popular. That's what they do. They're those kind of guys. I always thought that was like, you know, bottom of the barrel type stuff. Like that's what you do when you're trying to like get I don't know, build a channel without actually having any talent. You just go and hold your phone and be annoying to people, and then people like to see that shit. Me and Nick, we are going to fix the language in this country. We are going to fix it. I tell you now. I tell you here. It will be done. Hit the subscribe if you want to see the journey. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind.
So we did fake mall cop.
Oh shit.
Like with the Paul Blart shit.
Yeah.
But it's illegal to impersonate a security guard in the state of Texas.
Okay, so you haven't like, but I'm saying you haven't been like you've been.
No,
like,
I've never.
Exactly. You hear what Sean's saying? Oh, so you haven't been like really arrested? No, you have not.
Hey, you've been a day.
Hell yeah, Lucy, drop the dogma.
Had a lawyer,
Yeah.
But dude, let me tell you guys, nothing good happens when you go out and party and you get. I mean, again, you guys.
Nothing good happens after midnight. That's what I was.
Yeah, you're gonna go get fucked up.
Shout out to How I Met Your Mother. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. When 2 a.m. comes, just go home.
You're gonna go put your dick in something you're gonna regret doing. Like nothing good happens, man. And we raise kids. We raise kids on the Instagram world where it says, hey. You want to go get fucked up? You want to go you want to go have a hangover night? Go watch the movie Hangover. That's the epitome of a good time.
When did you stop?
It's interesting the words that they choose to edit out. Like random words they'll edit out and random curses. But he was just saying the F word. Like I don't get it.
Up that lifestyle though.
I never did it.
You never did it at all.
I mean, I'm in a different ballpark than you guys. That's fucking nuts, you guys. I mean, I would like, you know, I would be like 16, 17 years old going for a jog at midnight through a bad area, just hoping I could somebody, you know?
We definitely grew up a little different.
No, I mean, my parents, like, shout out to them. I don't know. I was very lucky. They're dope ass parents. They always supported me and shit, supported me with what I wanted to do. So yeah.
What do your parents do for a living?
My dad he was like between jobs. He just like he works at like Walmart head office, just does like, I don't know.
So he's like a blue collar guy.
Yeah.
Bomb.
I was just like, my mom.
No, a Walmart manager would not be that. That is what I would call a white collar because you're in an office with a white collar.
Mom did like customer service for like a company.
No, so he's
where did the term blue collar come from? Is it specifically like jobs like within the government that happen? Like if you're a cop, you're usually in a blue uniform. If you're a mailman, you're in a blue uniform. Is it just that, or is it something else? Let me know.
He's more blue collar than this soft motherfucker.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I wasn't rich or poor. Just like my area is like 25 minutes outside Toronto. Just like
why is that?
so
why is it such a
fucking-
bad thing though? If we come from different backgrounds like that.
You know, because you are the modern day male, sir. I look at you.
But why should like me or him be punished for something like that?
No, I don't punish you. I think he's more morally in line with me than you're morally in line with me. But sir, you are the modern day fucking doughboy cupcake man, my friend. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're a nice.
There absolutely is something wrong with that. The same thing that's wrong with the size of my arms is the same thing that is wrong with the shape of his face.
Guy. I'm not saying this to insult you,
No,
but
you're
somebody
good.
could fuck your wife in front of you and you'd probably let him fucking do it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That would not going down like that ever.
You doing? Let me take off my $20,000 watch.
I think Steiny
We
would
take
throw
off the
hands.
$20,000. No, that's
And then Sean Strickland comes in and tries to fuck your wife, and you're like, please, can you stop, please? Multimedia Media said the term blue collar was first used in reference to trade jobs in 1924 in Alden, Iowa newspaper. The phrase stems from the image of manual workers wearing blue denim or chambray shirts. Chambray, is that how you say that? As part of their uniform. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. What about his genetics? You don't think polio affected his face? No, but I just mean he has that very soft, like doughy kind of face. Like, I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
that's when I pull up the fucking.
Nah,
Glock
dude,
40
you guys
with the
are a nice
switch.
guy, man. But like, there is one thing though, like dealing with this. I like to call you guys civilians. Dealing with people
Civilians.
who don't fantasize about murder. Sometimes it's like I look at like I look at you guys and I'm like, oh man, like Like, man, you guys are some soft motherfuckers, you know? Like,
I think everybody has.
I mean, compared to you, yeah, like you're the middleweight champion of the world. That's not really saying a lot.
In a sick way of fantasy like
You
that.
fantasize about murder for,
For sure. Of course. Bro.
everybody does. I was on Joe Rogan's podcast and he goes,
Wait a minute. Are y'all out here fantasizing about muck duck? So I don't know why I put this up. Our poll, would America be better if women never got rights aside from the morality of it? 62% of you said no. Interesting. I want to do two more actually. Do you fantasize about muck duck regularly? Now, regularly is a vague term. So regularly could mean every day, every month, once a quarter. Regularly, or just some type of habit. I'm watching Bo said guys like him are why ICC cut Cox.
what?
Apple to world champs oranges. What's apples to oranges? I'm trying to think. What did I know I do this.
Fantasize about murder for,
For sure. Of course.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Okay, moving on.
Everybody does. I was on Joe Rogan's podcast and he goes, Sean, Joe Rogan, really nice guy. I like Joe Rogan. I've never thought about killing somebody. I would like to go my entire life without killing. You're a fucking liar, you motherfucker. I've seen your fucking gun collection. You know, you fucking sit there. Oh, who's scissoring who?
Who's scissoring who?
What?
I've definitely thought about, I if I could and not get in trouble, then if I could get this person, I totally would. I'm not saying that, but regularly thinking about ending people's lives? No. Now, okay, you're a professional fighter. So fighting and violence is a regular part of your everyday life. But, oh, yeah, okay. Comparing the guys like them to himself. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like he's in a different type of lifestyle altogether. And it sounds like he's saying, like he has an attitude of like, I have it right. And I'm not saying that you have it wrong, but I just have it right. Does that make sense? That's kind of the vibe that I get. I gotta, because I do not like when we want a specific definition. Antisocial personality disorder. So it is a disorder. It is not just a personality trait. Sometimes called sociopathy, is a mental health condition in which a person consistently shows no regard for right and wrong, ignores the rights and feelings of others. So he specifically talked about how he does care about others, or he does care about right and wrong, and he does care about others. And he's joked about like he said that women shouldn't vote, but he said in general that was more of a joke than anything. Hey, we got Guam Tech in the building. Welcome to the party, brother. Good to see ya. I was hoping you'd be here for all of this, but you will definitely enjoy our boy. You might not know who this is. I'm just letting you know. You might not know who this is, but there's a guy. Okay, there's this thing called the UFC.
How often do you think about like murder?
Oh, 24/7.
But do you have somebody? But that's the thing about it is, do you have someone specific?
Let me tell you, dude, when you get raised in the level of violence that I got raised in, your brain can't shut it off. Like even you, bro. I look at you, and there's an urge in me to like do a horrible act to you. I'm not gonna do it because
just me specifically, or you feel some
just you, bro. I look at you, and again, you're a nice guy, bro. And this is just. This is my own.
I just want to let you know I don't have that same urge towards you, bro. Like I'd love to get a beer with you or something like that.
This is exactly what Sean was talking about in the beginning. That you are just trying to cozy up to whoever. And again, like I said, I don't watch them. Maybe it's a bit, maybe it's a playing a character, but it's sad. It's pathetic. Hey, shout out to Ruthless Admin. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Yeah, so specific fantasize. Yes, he was saying, Sean Strickland was saying everyone thinks about murmuring. I like that, murmuring people regularly. It's like, that's not sociopathy. That's just psychopathy. Guantex said, bro, he killed it in the Adesanya fight. No pun intended. Facts. Welcome, brother.
I can't turn it, bro. I can't turn off. Like I have a small urge, like we talk about it. I could just fucking like the corner of that desk. I keep looking at it. I could just fucking picture just slamming a temple on it. But
yikes. Danny Cabrera says, well, it's one of those moments to think to meditation. We all have dark thoughts, and when you meditate every here and there, you'll come across one, whether it's self-mutilation or whatever else. Very true. And this is, I did a video maybe like a month ago or so about a part of Jordan Peterson's talk, where he talks about the demon, the darkness inside of us, the monster inside of us, that we all have to understand that we are capable of horrible, terrible things. But it's our responsibility to be aware of those things and to control them. And meditation, I think that is probably the best way to do it outside of actually specifically when it comes to violence, practicing martial arts. I mean, obviously. But good point, Dan. Jay says Strickland trying to normalize murder is weird as fuck. Yeah, it is. Okay, this is part of the bit. Steiny, probably.
But, these are my own demons that I struggle with because I grew up in such a violent household.
Yeah.
That
I saw that you told a story on Rogan that someone put a shotgun to your head.
Oh, I was at some party. I mean, I was younger, dumb, but he didn't try to kill me. I mean, he didn't want to kill me. If he would have killed me,
I thought he was gonna say, well, yeah, he put a gun to my head, but he didn't shoot. Like, put two and two together there on my own, but thank you.
I'd have been dead.
What was that moment like? Was there like a pause for you where you're like,
did he say it was fun? Did he say it was fun? Or did he say it was fun?
If you would have killed me, I'd have been dead.
What was that moment?
If you would have killed me, I would have been dead. Brilliant.
Like, was there like a pause for you where you're like,
if you would have killed me, I'd have been dead.
What was that moment like? Was there like a pause for you where you're like,
he said it was fun. This man is crazy. Not a sociopath, but crazy.
1920. So like I didn't really value my life at the time.
You grew up in OC though, right?
Inland Empire. That happened like Elsinore. But yeah, man, dude, like when I look at you guys and a lot of people, and I look at you guys and I'm just like, man, you guys are just like, you soft motherfuckers, dude. And there's nothing wrong with that, dude. I envy.
He keeps coming back to this. This is what I mean. That he's like, I'm looking down on you. And it's okay that you're not as good as me. But Am I wrong, or do you guys get that? Do you guys get that too?
If I had a kid, I want to be raised up soft and like you guys.
What's like 3 steps that we could do to become like harder, more like?
Do you guys train at all?
Work out?
Do you spar?
I'll spar though. I'll try it.
So I mean, you take Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt, another great man. I mean,
Teddy Roosevelt went blind in a boxing match while in office. That's badass. I don't care who you are. That's badass.
He used to encourage boxing. Teddy Roosevelt was an avid like I'm saying, a lot of the great men in their past, they valued strong masculinity. Andrew Jackson, did some fucked up things, but I love Andrew Jackson. He dueled a man because he implied his wife was a whore. Said, hey, I think your wife might be a whore. Let's go fight to the death. You know what I'm saying? So great man. So there's just
that would be content. How do you not be like, oh, all right, well, like show me, and boom, you get beat up, but that's great content. You got a mind for it. Go on, Tech. Where's your channel? Let's go.
Things you
so
can
what
do.
Else? Sparring.
It'll be a little bit more violent.
But let me ask you something.
Okay, let's go to the poll. So most of you, 33% of you, or 3 of you, think about murmur regularly. I'm going to be a bit nicer to you guys. Just a little bit. But the next poll is Sean doing a bit. Now, a lot of you guys are UFC fans, so I know that you know this man enough that this is not your first introduction. If this is your introduction to Sean, then I mean, feel free to answer as well. But I mean, I just want to see what you guys say.
I mean, would you expect people that do it like in this
Start
industry?
thinking of murder more.
Murder, yeah.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
Okay.
Dude.
What's one more thing?
Yeah, you give us one more.
I'm not gonna jerk you guys off here. You know, I'm gonna save that.
Oh, really? Really? You're not gonna jerk them off? Because I thought for the last 45 minutes of content that you were I'm not gonna jerk you guys off. Beta loser, you're soft. You're what's wrong with America.
For your buddy, but just carry yourself.
Yeah.
Like, okay, for instance, like again, this doesn't matter, but the way you dress like a 12-year-old, skinny jeans, like, you know, it's like you don't like you dress like a little kid.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, playing up in what way? Because like that's kind of what a podcast is. They bring you in to kind of play up your thoughts. But if you're talking like in a character way, I don't know that we have any reason to see. Like we like you take Colby Covington and you can see very clearly that there was a time that he was not acting this way. And the reason that Colby started acting that way was to benefit his career. Whereas despite the fact that this character, quote unquote, Sean Strickland, has resonated with a lot of people, I don't know that you could foresee that would be the case. I don't know that you could see that telling people that you fantasize about murmur, that you think women, or even joking about women not having the right to vote and stuff like that. I don't know how reasonable it would be to think that is somebody saying, okay, I'm going to do this. Because when you play the heel, it's usually a little bit more obvious. If not, he should go into acting. I mean, what he's saying isn't wrong. His delivery is definitely lacking, though. But again, if it's his delivery, then that would go against the notion that it's a bit. That's just who he is.
Hey, you dress like a little kid, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But you could rock the blue collar like sauce. Like, you think we could rock that? I don't think I could pull that off, like the boots and shit.
Well, I mean,
like you can rock it though.
But again, these are all just it's guys. You guys have the greatest gig. You make a lot of money. You fuck all the whores. You go to all the pool parties. Like, you guys have a great gig. But if you were my son, which, you know, I would be probably stoked because I'd be fucking loaded and pimp you guys out. But I would look at you and be like, oh man, I raised a couple of beta males who wear fucking Nike socks, basketball shorts, and a $40,000 watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I hear where you're coming from, because there's not a lot of depth here. Like, he got deep at some parts, but also he's just like that. This just seems like what a normal dude like him would be like. I don't know. I think this is just him being him.
And because again, my dad's a piece of shit, guys in hell. But it'd be nice. I'm sure. But I don't know how masculine your dad is. But imagine if you guys were just a little bit more masculine. A little bit more. You know, it'd be nice.
Sure. I think though your expectation with people like in this industry, I don't think you know what you're getting, bro.
Yeah, you guys. I said smart peddlers. Yeah. And again, I applaud you, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
You guys kick ass. But what I would say is just start carrying yourself in a different way. For instance, like when someone insults you.
Oh no. I just need to pause here because this is specific. Like, again, I don't follow these guys, but I do follow this channel, Comedy Enforcement. You should definitely go check them out if you care about, the podcasting world and specifically like the Rogan sphere, not necessarily specifically Rogan, but the people who would be on Rogan and their stuff. Like, there was a huge thing, and it might be bigger than I even realized, about when Andrew Schultz was on Full Send, and he just went in. He just went in on Steiny, and then they didn't post it for mad long. And like he was, I mean, you know, you can go check all of that out. Thank you, Dan. But Sean clearly knows about that. So I'm hoping that this is going to be funny. Gondek says unapologetic honesty has its merit. However, it takes someone just as skilled with his tongue as his sword to actually convince the masses. Well said, sir. Comment of the night. It does have its merits. And I think that honesty in any form is a virtue. And there are very rare times where it is mortal to lie. There are very few situations. I mean, don't lie.
There should be not like gang culture, not white trash culture. Like I'm going to go stab you in the parking lot. But if somebody, like, for instance, if right now, again, my girlfriend's amazing. If you were to insult my girlfriend, I would get up and I'd cave your fucking, and I'm just saying, I would have to as a man. If you were to insult my girlfriend, I would get up and I would have to as a man try to take your life. So there's this little things you do. You demand respect. And just the way, you see the way I'm talking to you? Yeah. I'm talking this way because I don't respect you. But how can I respect you? It's not because you're small. I don't respect you because look at what you're fucking wearing. Look at your job. I don't respect you because you don't live in a way that fucking demands respect.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a normal episode of just people going after this kid? Jesus Christ.
If you say, you know, Marab, he's a MMA fighter. Even though I would fuck Marab up, but he lives in a way that demands respect. So what I would tell you guys is just live in a way as pranksters, which again, you know, you start off kind of hard, just live in a way that demands respect.
Interesting. Live in a way that demands respect. If you had to make a list, just one thing that would be on the list of living in a way that demands respect, what would that be? What is that list? Yeah, he's going hard. Jay says Strickland telling people how to live is interesting, but they are specifically asking about one aspect of life. They're not saying how do I be like you. They're just saying if you're accurate that I am missing this characteristic, I'm never going to take it up to the level that you have, but I would like to have some level of you know, this demanding respect lifestyle. So I don't know. What do you think would be on that list? Certainly, I want to say like knowing what you're talking about. And it's not even necessarily about knowing a lot of things, but just understanding what you don't know. So not going off about things that you don't know. It doesn't need to be, you need to be running your mouth about all the things that you do know, but that you're not somebody who's going to, you know, speak up just to be heard. That would be my thing. What do you guys think?
And when somebody doesn't give you that respect, accept the fact that you might get a couple assault charges, spend $5,000, but you'll get out of it.
So besides you, if it's not like you, if someone talked like this to us, we got to fuck them up. But you're teaching us, so we don't got to.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it's just.
This is so cringe. I gotta, okay. Who, like, I'm so speechless as to how, like, are they doing a bit? Are they just like, oh, let's make this content, let's pull it out of him? Or is this like a genuine conversation? It's a very weird vibe to this. Martian said, that's why I wrote my personal directives. As you should. Daniel says, respect is not something to be demanded. It is to be earned. You want to be respected for being able to deal with it in the shit. Then you need to be in the shit. Yeah, I agree with you, but I think in this case, demanded is just the word that he's using in place of earned. So if you've earned respect, then you being in the room then demands respect because you have earned it. That's what it sounds like to me. Melted My Media said, I bet if Steiny looked at Sean and said, I don't care, I like my clothes and I love my job, he would get a little more respect from Sean. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I was talking about with even when he was saying, but it's not the popular thing to like Dylan Dennis. Like, you're still trying to play up and be like, I'm good, right? You like me. You really like me. No, we don't. Daniel says, same goes for mind leadership personality. Anything it is earned through action. Yep. Kevin Samuel and the Kevin Samuels version of respect is far better than the Strickland version of it. I mean, Kevin Samuels' version of anything is better than anyone else's version of anything. Come on. Kevin Samuels is the GOAT. Shout out RIP. Lefty Lucy says, 1, fantasize about murmur. 2, and anybody who looks at my GF. 3, get punched in the head for a living. Sounds like advice destined to put you in a wheelchair, jail, or coffin. I mean, depends on how you do it. Again, he specifically said, I don't tell people to live like me. But they specifically asked him, how can I be more of this thing? I mean, I don't think we would have a problem with anybody asking Sean Strickland on how to throw a punch. Right? Like that, like, he knows that stuff. So if we're talking about people who are respected, at least in that room, well, Sean's the guy. I don't I do you not see the level of necessity that I'm seeing from even though Sean's message isn't nice and clean like a Jordan Peterson, it's not even as sparkly as an Andrew Tate message. But do you not agree that these boys need to hear this? That, like, is he wrong about that? I don't think he is. And so if that's the case, then I don't know. This is such a weird conversation. Jay says, Izzy was right. Strickland is a bit insecure. He has to justify everything and say, well, everyone does it right. Like he says some good things, but he contradicts himself so much and people turn a blind eye. Fair enough. This is, yeah, like I said, this is really the first time I've heard him in long form. I've heard snippets. I've heard after post fight, pressers and stuff like that. But what has he contradicted himself on? I mean, he said, or become world champ and people take the same paths and it gets different results. Yeah, I mean, that's like, it is what it is. He is that guy. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a bit. It might be a level of, because again, we have to talk about like, what is the threshold? Like, you got those of you who are in the Discord server know that I am not exactly the same in Discord as I am here, because here I'm doing a show, whereas there we're just hanging out. Is this me playing a character? Maybe you say it is, but I don't think that it rises to the level of being any different than who I really am. I don't know. Those of you who know me from Discord video chat, let me know.
After this situation, then next time we'll like step up.
Yeah, I mean, but it's kind of hard because with me, you know what you're getting into. You know I'm going to insult you guys and make fun of you guys. But like, I'm not saying to go become violent, dude, but fucking demand respect. If I'm out in the world and a fan comes up to me, and again, all my fans are amazing, you guys. I've never had a bad reaction. And you insult me, I will get an assault charge. I will go to jail. I will fucking cave your face in. Like, and it's a damn shame because there was a moment in history where you implied a man's wife was a whore and he had a right to kill you.
Yeah,
that's how it should be.
Sean, I think that you, despite what you're saying, you do have some sort of respect for us.
I respect what you guys.
He's been saying that he respects the way you do what you do. He just doesn't respect you as a man. He doesn't respect your line of work. And again, I think it was maybe Melted My Media or somebody who was like, yeah, like I bet if he looked at him and like, bro, you like, I'm not trying to be you. You're crazy. Why would I want to be like you? If I could be me and not have all the BS that you're dealing with, fantasizing about murder all day, like, I feel like I'm in a better position than you. So who the fuck are you to tell me anything? That would be a much more interesting conversation. That's why, you know, when Martian said it's all varying levels of kayfabe, I feel that way more from the Nelk Boys than I do from Sean. Melted My Media said, no, you didn't have the right to kill him. You dueled on equal footing. Yeah. Lefty Lucy said, yeah, it's good advice for somebody who has grown up in a violent upbringing and have the ability to fight. If these two took that advice, they would end up wasting their life. Well said. Well said. And it's not about, like, there absolutely is respect that comes from putting your life, at least your safety, on the line to get in a cage, lock it with somebody who is trying to kill you. That is a certain level of respect. But there's many different types of respect. And it seems like Sean sees the world very myopically. That I do things this way, so this must be the right way to do things. Which is circular logic. And kind of leftisty and liberally, if I may say so myself. Ruthless Admin said, I was once confronted by a guy who thought I was looking at his girlfriend. I stood my ground. He backed down. He probably could have kicked my ass, but the fact that he couldn't size me up matters. Absolutely. Even I've gotten out of fights. I'm 5'4", skinny as a wet noodle, and I've gotten out of fights because I've just been like, bro, beat me up. You're still going to be wrong. My old roommate, I remember we were drunk. I don't even remember what we were arguing about. We were arguing about something. And, I was arguing with so there was like, not a party, but I lived in like a frat house. So there was always just people like there. And so I was arguing with one of the people who were there. And, that's right. I was trying to go to sleep. And so my roommate and his friend friends were downstairs and they're being mad loud. So I just came down the stairs and to ask them to be like, yo, can you quiet down a little? And apparently they were in an argument. So I still said, like, what? I'm like, yo, I'm trying to sleep. Can you, like, take this outside or shut the fuck up or whatever? And my roommate, who is 6'4", he was, 3-4 years older than me at the time, and we were in college. He's like, shut up, shut up, go upstairs. I'm like, excuse me? Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? This is my goddamn house, and I will go where I want and say what I please when I want. Dude, it's okay. I'm mad right now. All right, just go upstairs. I'm like, well, now I'm not gonna. And so I stood face to fucking belly button with him. I was like, bro, like, you do not talk to me like this in my own house. He shoves me, and I was standing, like, you kind of see here the edge of the couch, and he shoved me. And I flew over the couch and into a lamp. I got up. I'm like, all right, you done now? 4 more times. 4 more times. He shoved me to the ground. I had no idea he was going to start swinging. But I kept getting up. I'm like, all right, so this has changed things. How? And eventually, he stopped. Now, is there a level of, well, I'm not going to beat up a kid this small. Maybe. But, I mean, I didn't get beat up. So, and I've gotten beat up before. My Media said, if someone wounded the duel, and if someone was wounded, the duel would be stopped and reset when all parties were back in health. Yes, I know. I mean, obviously, they're not trying to kill you in that sense, but you get what I mean. I never saw Cinderella, man. I wish I got the reference. I know that was the boxing movie, right? That was the one with Hilary Swank and the old guy, Clint Eastwood. Is that movie? Or am I thinking something else? Chinese Indian Steve Rogers over here. Let's go. I could do this all day.
Despite what you're saying, you do have some sort of respect. for us.
I respect what you guys have done.
accomplishments.
I respect.
The first thing you said was having Trump on too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that's
I
a-
respect for what you guys have done. You guys are all solid guys. But as far as like your presence of a man,
Okay.
it doesn't command respect.
So notice then how we was talking about, Jen, you were talking about respect being earned and not demanded. And he just said that doesn't command respect. And so that goes to what I was saying is that you command respect by earning it through your actions. That's what I think when he says demand. That's what he means. $1 million baby. Good, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I never. What is Cinderella Man? Oh, somebody. I no. You. Yeah, it's left. Lucy, you're definitely right. I was definitely thinking $1 million baby. But talk about it in the after party. Join the Discord. It's free, guys. It's free.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you had a kid, I'm telling you, would you had a kid and your son walks in the room, would you, I'm not saying you guys are amazing. And I hope he makes some money, but would you want your kid to be a little bit more of like, oh shit, you know, little Billy walked in the room, people respect him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, you know, it's hard, man. We make a world where like, we don't give people respect because respect's not a virtue anymore. When
True. The thing I'm thinking that, like, again, it's just very myopic. Everything it comes back to, like, because he sees the world a certain way, then and he does things a certain way. He thinks that's the only way to do it. And that's why Melted My Meat is spot on. With Steiny came back, like, dude, I'm comfortable. I like these clothes. You spent $10. Are you comfortable? Then good. What are we talking about? I'm not trying to whatever. I get girls. I got a wife. I got a girl. Whatever it is. But he doesn't see that as, and like, nobody is respected by everyone. Nobody is respected by everyone. So it's just like, all right, you're just not my kind of dude then. It's cool. Glomtech says, I'm sure just showing a little backbone would do these guys wonders in his eyes. Not being extra, but standing up for yourself and say, oh yeah, okay, man. Help us. How can we be more like you? Yeah. Because that just shows what Sean's saying. Even if he's not completely correct in his assessment or why he got to that conclusion, they're proving him right by trying to cozy up to him instead of standing up for themselves. And I think, you know, as both of you have said, if they did do that, they'd be like, nah, get out of here with that. We're not beta. No. Like, maybe we have a different type of lifestyle, but nah, it ain't like that. Like, no, I can't beat you up. You're the fucking middleweight champion of the UFC. That doesn't mean I'm not a man. That just means that you have better fighting skills. Gonzalez, I wonder if he's just trying to prod them into showing a little manhood. You might. I think you got it. I think that's it.
Being a man of your word doesn't matter. There was virtuous men where when you walked in with what you said mattered. Now we live in a world where like pushy envelope, get the likes, get the attention.
Though. I feel like if being a man of your word is the most important thing, a trait you could have, if that's what you're saying. Like if someone gives me their word that they're going to be somewhere and they don't show up, I have zero respect for you.
100%. You see, you have your level, but it's also just, it's an overall arcing message of just being a fucking man. And you know what a fucking man is. You know, every time you've done something fucking stupid, every time you're at a pool party and you do something stupid to get some fucking, and you have to look yourself in the mirror, and even after you fuck that perfect 10, maybe with her friend.
I just got this in the Discord. Lutch after the super soldier serum. I mean, come on. I'm with it. Let's go. Shout out to Melted Mind Media.
Friend, and you look in the mirror the next day and you say, man, like I compromised me as a man. I compromised my fucking dignity just to get that. You got to look yourself in the mirror and it chips away. It chips away a little bit at you. We've all fucking done it.
Yeah.
You know.
Jay says, for me, I don't give a fuck whether somebody respects me or not. If it's some BS and not a reasonable thing, then it's just life. People are going to like you and some won't. I mean, I hear you. Jay says, Sean thinks his way of being a man is the right way, but someone born in Australia has a different view. Very true. Very true. And I mean, I definitely do give a fuck whether people respect me, but not because of them, but because of, am I being the person that I know I can be? The person I know that I can be does demand respect, does earn respect. If I'm not getting that respect, that means that I'm not showing myself or living as my full self. So I don't care about like, oh, they don't like me. Please like me. Please like me. I don't care about it like that. But the only real way to understand if you are respected is in reference to other people. You respect yourself all you want, but that's a whole different thing from than what we're talking about. Daniel says, but it's not just about zero respect for you. What are the consequences for that disrespect? That's the point in this part. You disrespected me. How now do you handle it? I agree. Well said. Well said.
For sure.
I'm also like, take somebody like
And for them, it's, oh yeah, good point. Good point.
Andrew Tate.
You fuck with Tate?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
You don't
yeah,
like,
so
but you seem to share a lot of similar values with him.
We share a lot of values, but Andrew Tate, here's the thing about Andrew Tate, man, is, and as young men, I can see why you guys look up to him, because you are moralist men. You have no values. You have no positive male role models. So you latch onto a piece of shit like Tate, who has money, who has women. You say, no, I want to be like Tate. All my problems in the world, they're because women are fucking me. They're because this is fucking me. No,
if that is what is the pull for so many young men, then whether you love him or hate him, you have to understand that Andrew Tate is a symptom of a larger problem. There is a reason that he resonated so strongly with people. There is a reason that Jordan Peterson resonates so strongly with people. There is a reason that Sean Strickland got a title shot, because he resonates with people by saying the things that he says. Meldomai Media said, and not all respect is equal. Very true. I would rather have the respect of Sean than a vegan. Good call. Good call. Daniel said, no, not good point. Okay. These guys need to sit down and give a little fuck you in their attitude. I agree with you. Did I say I didn't? Or are you just saying? Jay says, Andrew Tate is a scumbag, webcam scam, and stealing their money. That is true, according to his own words. But the things that he says, the messages that he wants to get out to young listless men are accurate. So if we want young men looking up to people better than Andrew Tate, then somebody has to be better than Andrew Tate in the eyes of these young men. You have to give them a reason to want to care what you say. And Andrew Tate has done that. Jordan Peterson has done that. Sean Strickland has done that. These people are not, like, they have an audience. They have people who want to hear. What we on the other side is like, like, I get it, but like, you're going too far. We need to create a society, a culture where people like Andrew Tate are not needed. Fair enough.
That's not it. So Andrew Tate is a con artist. Did you ever watch that interview?
Go to the first one.
You ever watch that interview where
Let's talk about this. Yeah.
You ever watch that interview where he goes on in detail about how he pretended to be a cam girl and used to rob people's savings?
That was probably on ours.
Yeah, I think that might have been.
Oh,
He was saying that he had the girls do the webcams and then he was taking 100% of the earnings.
And no. He
100%?
No, he wasn't taking 100%. He was just taking a little extra because he told them that it was for taxes. And either he took more than was for the taxes, but he specifically said he stole their money because they're stupid. He said it.
He also said that he would go on there and pretend to be men and have them send them $100K.
No, he'd go on there and pretend to be the girl.
Yeah, pretend.
That's literally, let's say 90% just throwing a number out of my ass. 90% of the successful OF pages are ran by men.
A girl and have them sin. So this guy who is a utter con artist and he shows no remorse.
That's what every OnlyFans
Don't you
girl's
think
doing
every
right now, though,
OnlyFans
too.
has some?
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Cause I told
There's,
you.
you're not getting the girlfriend experience.
A long time
Gentlemen, if you are spending money on that app or an app like it, please stop. Please DM me, email me, and we'll chat. You don't need that in your life. There are way better ways to spend money. And you can still get P-Hub for free. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Assistant guy that's
You know
messaging these
OnlyFans,
girls?
obviously.
Yeah,
is?
I know. Every girl I know on OnlyFans, you guys, they don't even run their OnlyFans.
So it's the same
Right.
shit.
Just so you know, all the top earners of OnlyFans, when you're on there talking to them, you're not talking to them, you're talking to a male assistant.
Yeah.
But to see the way he talked with no remorse, it wasn't, you know what, man? I did something so morally wrong. I took advantage of men. I took money from men. It was like, no.
This is exactly what he's saying right now is why so many of us, once, he started getting bigger and we were like, okay, now we're getting more past the message and we're now talking about the man, Andrew Tate, not what the things that he's saying. That's why a lot of us were like, let's back out of here a little bit because, Sean's exactly right. He's not the kind of person that you want to associate with. Even though he was saying a lot of the right things, it goes further than that. That being said, we still need to separate the man from the message.
Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm a con artist. I'm a piece of shit. So Andrew Tate, you guys, if you want to look up to a guy like Jordan Peterson. He understands masculinity, honesty, how to be a fucking man. But I'm telling you, Andrew Tate, he's not your messiah. He would turn you out for $1. He's a fucking pimp. He's a whore.
Do you think anything he does
I think there's
preach
good and
is
bad
positive?
in everyone.
But
though, too.
he's good and bad, but he's a con artist. What I'm saying is, like, for instance,
Practice what you preach. I think.
practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate found a con and he's running with it and he's making a lot of fucking money. And don't.
What do you mean? Hustlers University is like the greatest thing ever. Going to our poll, is Sean doing a bit? We got 56% of you saying no, but we are split pretty evenly. 55 and 50. This does this all the time. It says 55% and 44%. The math ain't mathin'.
Don't be like him. Don't want to drive a fucking Bugatti.
Be like me and fantasize about murmur all day.
And don't Andrew Tate, you guys. There's so many better male role models to have, and he is the definition of trash.
Meldemai Media said respect can be given and taken for different things. Like if Sean was giving Steiny advice about a fight, he would respect the advice, but he wouldn't respect his advice on getting your channel big. Exactly. I Wanted Foe said he's Muslim now. He'd never continue lying, right?
Haram.
That's haram, dude. Of course not. He's a bastion of morality now. Those were the old days. But ironically, if anybody else has this story of I used to be a piece of shit, I used to be a drug dealer, I used to be a pimp, I used to do any of these things, then I gave my life to God. I'm just like, oh, well, he just washed away all your sins and you're one of us now. So it's y'all in the religious community that that built that escape route for Sneeko and for Andrew Tate.
All right, let's see. Let's
No,
talk.
I want to see the first one, bro, about the two types of fat people.
Let's talk about.
I'll just read it for you.
No,
Real
I
quick.
got you, bro. Let's talk about all the crazy shit I've said.
This one, you said, I've realized there are two kinds of fat people. One I hate, the other I like. I'm fat and beautiful. I hate them. Absolutely hate them. And the other one is I'm so fat, I don't even like to play with myself because no one wants to fuck a fat person.
Because, well, let me tell you.
That is the type of fat shaming that we need. That is what we need. We need people to be able to take in that type of criticism because it is what it is. People don't want to fuck fat people. But if you say that, I mean, go ahead and put all your money on the chubby chasers. I'm just telling you. No, actually, I'm not. I just don't.
Tell you why. There is a sense of like lying that we have that we're being fed. And anytime I meet a fat person who's like, listen, dude, I love to fucking eat. I'm fucking fat. Like, I don't even want to fucking jerk off. I can't even see my dick. I got to lift up my roll. What? I love those people because they're admitting they have a problem.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, and then I'll be the first one to say, hey, man, well, why don't you come to the gym? Why don't we train? You want some eat less, burn more. But
no, I mean, I could, but I don't want to. And I'm kind of in that same boat when it comes to exercise and working out and being physical. And, I have what in my mind are legitimate excuses. But the difficulty I find with, just in general, I've always had issues with routine and doing something consistently. Before YouTube, like, there's not one thing in my life that was like, oh yeah, I do this since I graduated college. Nothing is, but everything about working out, everything about being at a healthy weight is focused on not being fat. And that makes sense to me. There's a lot of fucking fat people, but I just wish somebody could say the words in the right order for it to click. You know how sometimes there's something that you're not doing or something that you're doing that you should stop. And that, it's not the right thing to do, but you kind of you do it anyway. And then you hear something and it's just like something goes off and you're like, oh, I got to change this. That's what I need. That's what I need. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it would come from. I don't know anything else except that is what I need. I don't need to hear about how fat people are getting. I need to hear about how pathetic it is to be as skinny as I am. That's what I need to hear. Melton Behind Media said the great thing about chasing chubbies is you ain't gotta chase long. Good one. I'm watching pose. Say, cool. Nah, I don't want to lift. I don't want to lift next to a guy who fantasizes about smashing my head with the barbell. Yeah, that's a good point. But the more he fantasizes about it and the less he does it for each fantasy, the lower the rate or the lower the likelihood that on any given fantasy, he's going to act it out. I stand by that. Dana said, maybe this will click. Eat a cheeseburger, motherfucker. I mean, hey, are you buying?
then what you have corporations in line with government making everybody PC, saying, hey, fat person, you fucking pig. I love how much McDonald's you buy. I love all this shit. Go buy more McDonald's. You're not fucking fat. Go have a heart attack and get a heart transplant. Hey, fuck it. We'll pay for it and pass a new spending bill. So what I'm saying is the reality of the situation, if you are fat, you have a problem. You have a mental disorder. You are unhealthy. You are not fat. You are not beautiful. You are not a beacon of something to look up to. You have an issue and you need to seek help immediately. And by us putting them on a pedestal, all we are doing is furthering and shortening their life and propagating this lifestyle.
Yep. Belton Media said a food intervention and a drug intervention. Only difference is the size of the chair they have to sit on. That is funny. However, I will definitely attest to, I went to school for psychology and substance abuse and disorders like that. A food addiction, I would take a drug addiction over a food addiction any goddamn day of the week. Do you understand that if you're addicted to something that you have to have to survive, how near impossible that is to manage? Exactly. You don't need drugs. You need food. So to think about how you're trying to get off of food, but you still have to eat it. Like if I was trying to get off of pills, but I still had to take these pills, I would absolutely go too far with it because that's what addiction is. Quantex said fat positivity from companies is just a way for the companies that cause the obesity to make more money. Same with the trans stuff, aka makeup for men. Now we can sell it to everyone, not just women. No, it's about people finally being able to accept themselves as they truly are and not have to worry about bigotry and transphobia and
I actually agree with that because it's like a plus model. How did that even become a thing?
Why did it become a thing,
Like,
sir?
but, like,
because
how
what
is that
have
a
what have
thing?
we been talking about since the entire time? We want consumers to shut the fuck up and buy shit.
But you're promoting being unhealthy, and it's like, dude,
We-
Probably a lot of fat people too, so it's probably a smart
if I own a
advertising tactic
business,
too.
if I own a business in this woke world, and I could say, hey, listen, I don't really want to make clothes for fat people because it's bad for them, or I could say, hey, transgenders and fucking fatties, come buy my shit, you guys.
Ruthless Admin says, I've personally found it a lot easier to lose and manage weight than to quit certain substances. But were you addicted? Because we're not just talking about the act of, you know, I'm eating too much or I'm doing these drugs that I shouldn't be doing. We're talking about a food addict who can't stop themselves versus a drug addict who can't stop themselves with the drug. And I'm saying in that case, you know, like Melted My Media brought up, that you still need food to survive. So if you're addicted to food and you're trying to break that addiction, but you still need to eat the drug of choice multiple times a day, I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, either way, good for you for you know, losing and managing your weight and quitting the substances that you don't want to be doing anymore. Shout out to that. But it's I can't imagine. Smart does not equal moral. Nope. Daniel seconds that. It's easier to get out at least once or twice a week and play 4 or 5 miles worth of Frisbee golf than it has been to quit cigarettes. And it's been easier to get out than it has been to quit cigarettes. But again, we're not talking about food addiction. We're talking about adding something that you don't physically have to do to survive. You don't have to play Frisbee golf to survive. So if you were addicted to laying in bed and not moving, like, you still have to get into bed every day. Ruthless Admin says, it's hard to say, to be honest. I do love food, and it's not easy. Certainly none of it is easy. But, you know, and I mean, it's not a competition about who has a harder life or who has a harder path. But, you know, I was just expressing that, you know, my you know, that I can certainly sympathize that if you have an addiction to sex or food or things that you need in your normal life. Now, is sex addiction a thing? That's a whole other conversation. But assuming it is, then, you know, it's got to be near impossible. Next is you have to find your motivation, but it's got to be for you, not a woman, not kids, you first. Everyone is just bonus for motivation. 100% Nick. Hell yeah.
We fucking love you.
Lizzo, king of the fat chicks. She got fucked recently, didn't she?
The big girl energy was a thing, I guess.
Wasn't she like touching like
No, she
employees and
fuck,
shit?
what was she
You hear about
doing?
that?
I mean, what's surprising, bro?
She was asking him to do something that just was not cool. I can't remember what it was. What was it?
What
Chuck?
was she asking to do?
She was asking her dancers to attend adult entertainment that included a banana inside of a woman that then must be eaten from the dancer. That is a hostile work environment if there ever was one. Melton My Media said, yes, it's easier to go out and work off what little you have gained, but a full-blown obese person might not physically be able to do that work. You have to stop eating first. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it's not even necessarily about the size of the person, because eating disorders are also in that realm of I'm addicted to this thing. And so, if you're like typically you're not just anorexic or bulimic. Typically, if you have that food disorder, it's a combination of the two. And so, what happens is that you won't eat for days and days and days and days and days and days and days, and then you're about to die. So your body forces you to eat, and then you indulge yourself. You eat, you make up for lost time, and then you feel like shit. So you throw it all up. And that it just over and over and over again. And that also plays a factor into you. Those people can't stop eating. Those people also can't, like, you just have to, it's part of living a normal life. It's crazy. Aren't there other mental conditions that come with that as well? Yeah. I mean, it's very complex. But it usually isn't. It usually doesn't exist in a vacuum. Just like we see now that when I was in high school, eating disorders was a thing. Now we see teenage girls in groups being socially influenced to do something a little different. Can you guess what that is? Melton said that was me for a year. Yeah, I mean, usually it's in women, but we see it all over the place. And I mean, shout out to you, man. I don't know how. I don't know how. Like you could get, because like I said, my addiction for my drug addiction from the very beginning. I understood intellectually that I was getting into something into some deep water. I didn't understand how deep the water was. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been an addict. But I understood that. So all the way along, I was anticipating how to, like what my exit plan was going to be. And so, like, I've talked about this before, but, I was a painkiller guy. So I liked pills. And so what I would do is I'd go on like a 3-day bender, and then I'd let it get completely out of my system. So I'd be 2-3 days and like just kind of feel like shit. But it wasn't that, 6 months straight, I haven't gone a day without having these pills. And then I'm trying to get off of them. Like, that was, I think, what saved me from being a full-blown heroin addict. All the rest of my friends who I did drugs with, they all of them became, if not heroin addicts, at least heroin users. Lefty Lucy said a broken jaw would help them fatties. Sean would probably do it for free. Jesus Christ. Lefty Lucy not holding anything back. Melvin Mia said, finally fixed my weight. Went from 285 to currently managing around 230. Good shit, bro. Good shit. And facts. You never know how deep you are till you are, let's say, drowning. Because I was certainly drowning, but I am here. I am here. And that's also true. Hindsight is always 20/20. Yep.
I think it was something like she was making them like.
All right, we are. Damn, I didn't realize we've been going for a minute. I'll let you guys decide.
Was she making guys or girls do this?
Girls.
Oh man, that's rough. If it was a guy, I say fuck him, dude. If you're a guy, I don't really have that much. If you're a guy, I have less sympathy for men because you should be better.
You ever sat next to a guy on a plane that had to do the double seatbelt?
Oh, I fucking hate it.
It'll change your entire.
Every time there's a fat person, I even start tweeting about it. I don't even hide it. I show them. So I show how much I hate sitting by fat.
Do you ever have these in-person confrontations, or do you try and?
No, I have no issue telling you you're fat and disgusting. But again, I'm not a cruel man. I'm not a cruel man. If you're fat and disgusting, I'll be the first one to come to the gym. I'll fucking spar you.
Yeah.
Any other highlights you'd like to?
Yeah, I want to talk about how like you brought people off the fucking street that talk shit to you and you just spar them right on the spot.
Well,
there's that famous video, obviously, that like probably everyone's seen.
No, that actually was a really cool guy, man. And I even hooked him up on a couple months of his gym membership.
How did that even start?
I was just walking and he showed up.
Like,
and he told me he was I was just walking by my house. He was like an Uber driver. And he showed up and he really nice fucking guy. And you can tell this guy's fucked up. Like you can tell that he's probably doing a lot.
He thinks of murder and shit.
Well, not only that, bro. I mean, he's an Uber driver. He's older, covered in tattoos. You can tell this man probably has a lot of personal problems. His life's probably not where he wants it. And, I invited him to the gym and, I sparred him and he came out of the car doing like karate. So after that.
Hey, shout out to Melted Mind Media with the $2. Just showing the love, brother, man. Very, whoa. Let me get you your show. Oh, God damn it. Thank you, sir. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh. There we go. Look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Good boy. Thank you, sir. And I think I need to check. What does that make Melted Mind Media the sponsor of the stream? Let me check.
After that, I told Masai, I was like, bro, a lot of reasons why we train is because we're all fucked up, and you have a brotherhood here. Like, I mean, you guys don't know what PTSD is, but it's fucking real. Like, like I used to
shout out to the man out sponsoring himself, Melted Mind Media. Thank you.
It's funny. I used to always say like veterans were kind of pussies. I was like, PTSD, like, give me a fucking gun. I'll fucking plug a kid right now.
So just so everybody is clear, particularly YouTube, I do not condone even jokes like that. Just so we're clear. I want to comment on something you just said.
Like
PTSD. I mean, not with soldiers, but in general, I always thought about how people, overuse psychological terms in general, and still kind of like there's something there, but oh my goodness, where is it? Unwanted foe! Look how excited Marty is! Look, we're gonna give you a full nut! Yummy, yummy, yummy. Thank you so much, sir. Oh my God. We got a new sponsor of the stream. Thank you so much. Very, very much appreciated. I see you guys, really stepping up and supporting the show, and it means so much to me. So thank you so much, guys.
Like, give me a fucking gun. I'll fucking plug a kid
Whoa,
right now.
whoa.
Like,
I thought we already got past that
with you guys. But then I realized it's because I have a lot of fucking PTSD, and I grew up with it. So when I see certain people struggling, vets, even if you weren't a vet, and I start understanding now that, oh, fuck, man, I grew up with this, and I found fighting, and I learned how to cope with it. But you guys are just trying to make it through with these fucked up thoughts, and you're medicating yourself. And so I invite these people, vets, anybody else, like, there is a brotherhood in the gym, and a lot of us suffered sexual violence. A lot of us have suffered this. So when you come to this brotherhood, it's a place of like-minded people that want to be better. And so when I invited, after we sparred and when I talked to him, I was like, bro, this would be very good for you mentally if you join.
I thought that was heated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that the fact that he was willing, like, this guy was talking shit and he turned it into something positive, again, goes to this thing. I think this is just who this guy is. I'm not the best. I'm not the best at reading people that deep. I feel like I can read people deep, but like, if you guys watch Jesse on Fire, the way that he can just read people and read situations, I don't have it like that. But this seems very authentic. Is that the word I want to use? Yeah, I think it seems authentic. You guys don't think so? Quantex says, if this isn't a bit, Sean could really use some wisdom from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. I mean, yeah, but I don't think he's looking for friends. I think he's got his girl, he's got his belt, he's good. Stripping the dogmatic thinking away. There we go, gang. Indeed, it is a long process. Melted My Media said Sean is just trying not to get invited to these podcasts. That might be it. He might be like, bro, I don't want to do this shit anymore. Like, oh, sorry. Oh, did I hit your butt? I give you a little butt tap? I'm sorry. That really might be it. He might be just like, I'm not even about this. And his quote unquote character can kind of be summed up with the post-fight pressers and fuck you, like, it's not that deep. So it might be, you might be right. Quantex says, I do really feel him on the people you train with. There's an unbelievable amount of camaraderie that comes from groups of people just trying to better themselves and at least one thing. Yeah, I mean, I wish I missed that. I like it was so, I talk about the, building a routine and just gathering up the courage to just do the thing. And like, I've been meaning to clip up these streams since I started, and I just didn't. And because I thought it would be simpler or easier, I started doing the daily videos, like the standalone videos. And like, I like doing those, but that's not really, I'm not a headline. Like, I want to build what we're doing here, and have more conversation with you guys. And so that we need less and less and less and less of reaction, and more and more and more of us just talking. I don't really remember where I was going with that. And so, yeah, the notion that I had finally got myself to drive to the gym, sign up for jiu-jitsu, spend the money on the gi, go in the knowing that I'm not going to be good at this, knowing that I'm going to be in a position where I suck at this for a long time, but that eventually it's going to pay off. And COVID came and closed down, and I moved, and I'm sure there's a gym around here somewhere, but it's not going to be close. And it's just the things that stack up. I know that once I get back in the gym, I'm going to watch a clip like this and be like, "You idiot, stupid." But that's just where it is,
Did because you were like talking shit to him during the fucking, like, when you guys were sparring.
Weren't you? Was it extreme?
I think so. You're like, is this what you wanted, motherfucker, and shit?
Oh no, you're talking about a boxer.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly it, and that's exactly why I needed to change, because I was splitting audiences. I was creating a group of people who just wanted to watch those, and like, that's great, but exactly, Mountain Mind Media. I want you guys here. I want to interact with you guys. I want to watch this stuff with you guys. I don't want to watch it and give my commentary and then throw it up and be like, "What do you guys think?" I want it to be an ongoing conversation, because how many times do you guys change my mind about something, or change my perspective, and because you're here in the chat? Yeah, no, I got you. But yeah, so the fact, I would much rather you be here and spend your time here with me than obviously I want views on the videos, but this what we're doing right here right now is what matters to me. You guys matter to me.
Pretty much a boxer issued a challenge that said nobody could stay with me.
That guy, that's
what
I was talking about.
He was an arrogant fuck. And I sent him a message saying, "Hey, no, I'm joking." Like, or I showed up and he didn't have a mouthpiece. I'm like, "Hey, we don't even do this, bro. Like, I don't want to hit you." Like, he's a professional boxer, high level boxer.
Oh.
And he's like, "Don't worry, you ain't gonna hit me. I don't need to spar with a mouthpiece."
Oh, so that's a different guy than the Uber driver who was by his house, and it turned into a nicer thing. Okay, this is a different guy that we saw from the viral video.
All right, well,
here we go.
Fucker, you're gonna find out, you motherfucker.
And you hit him?
I'd kill that fucking man.
Didn't you spar with Francis?
Yeah, I love Francis. He's a solid guy. Me and Francis have wars.
When did
that's awesome. Could you imagine just the sheer size of this man? I'd be like, "Can you teach?" I was trying to do it like this. "Can you teach me to?" Daniel says, "Lutch, with all the no homo love, I can muster nut up or shut up. Go to the fucking gym or don't. I appreciate you and your mind and your thought process, but every Friday I go out and play. Every Friday I'm doing this, and I also work today. I know they're excuses, but I'm just saying, like, it's not just a matter of me sitting around doing nothing. It's that I have to better organize my time, and there's a lot of things that go into that. So I know you're right. You're right. It's just it's not and it's not a 6, because I have to make sure the dog is okay. Then I have to make sure that I'm ready to go. I have to drive there. Like I said, there's nothing close to here, so there's going to be at least a 20-25 minute drive, at least, more likely closer to 30. Then go to the class, then come back home, then shower, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand there's a lot that goes into it, and you have to earn that's what you're earning is going through all that shit. I'm just not there yet. I'm just not there yet. I could bullshit. You'd be like, yeah. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow for sure. I'm not. I don't know. Lefty Lucy says, it's my chill downtime after work. Thanks for making this space. You are very, very, very welcome. Thank you so much for coming and being part of it. Daniel said, at least the front 9, if not the front and mid 9. One of the toughest Frisbee golf courses in the United States. Get out and do it or don't. Then I don't. You don't find the time and make the time is the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, you're right. I'm not arguing at all. At all. But there's the same way that that cigarettes are bad for you. You know that. But you still smoke them. So we all have our shit. We're all working on ourselves.
How long ago did you guys spar?
Oh, anytime he's in the gym, I'm trying to fight because he scares the fuck out of me. Because there's a little kid in me who has been abused, and I look at Francis, this big fucking scary African, and he scares me.
This big
so
scary
I feel compelled
African.
to fight this man. And if he knocks me out, well, guess what? You knocked me out.
Who's your favorite musical artist?
Oh fuck, man! Off the top of the head, dude, it's hard, dude.
Okay, give me just someone you really like.
Oh fuck, dude. Off the top.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Nick. Very, very, very much appreciated.
My head, man. I mean,
Okay, well, if he was like, "Yo, can I tap my band's name on you?" Would you let him do it?
No, fuck. I'm a fucking grown. If somebody even implied that to me, I might fucking smack them. I don't hero worship people. And the people I look up to, they're not artists. They're not musicians. They are fucking great men. The people I look up to are great men. They've done great things. They live great lives.
Interesting, because he's not. I was expecting him to say something along the lines of people who have done something like this, because this whole time he's been talking from what seemed like a very myopic point of view, but now he's saying a very vague word of great. What does great mean? Well, he does need more treats. But yeah, that this is interesting. So let's see where he takes this.
There are great men. We are not them. Jordan Peterson is a great man. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's so many great men of the past that we don't even acknowledge.
Are there any other guys like Jordan? Like, do you like David Goggins?
I kind of have like I think David Goggins is a little bit too like, he kind of sucks himself off a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like, and I've heard a lot of things like.
I've heard that too, especially between like David Goggins and Jocko. Everybody says Jocko over, what's his name? Brian Farr. You know what I'm talking about. Guamtech said, you got this going, and it has all the merits of what I think can drive people. Might be lacking the physical side, but we're all here trying to be slightly better, at least through ideas. Absolutely. Yeah, let me work on one thing at a time. Actually, I don't even believe that. I don't know why I said that. I'm just making excuses and rationalizing, okay? Can I just, all right? You smoke your cigarettes, you do your thing. Thank you. Mountain My Media said, does Sean have a podcast? If not, he needs it. I don't think he does. I'm just now looking at this and seeing that there's 20 minutes left, and I don't know what else he could say. That is a good name, though. Strictly Business. I like that. But yeah, I feel like he's kind of. I want to see if there's anything else that he says, but he kind of feels more one note. Be a man, earn respect, don't be a beta.
I don't want to name names or anything, but I've like in the SEAL community who have like kind of said that he was just a glorified PT. Like when guys were doing hard shit, he was running miles. So it's like nothing wrong with him. I wish him the best, but I think he's more of like, he's just more of a character.
The other two.
Ooh, the character calling the character a character.
We could go through them. I don't know if
do you have any good ones, man? Make me feel bad about myself. Let me look in the mirror later and hate myself for this.
Well, the problem is some of them we probably can't. could go too deep
Yeah,
into. It would just be a waste.
Facts. Yep, you're right. These guys can't hang. He just needs someone to bounce off. Yeah, you're right. You're right. If he had somebody, yeah, yep, you're right. See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. 5 minutes ago, or what? 2 minutes ago, I would have thought, if there is a Sean Strickland podcast, I don't need it. 2 minutes later, that's a good thought, followed by yet another good thought. And now my mind has changed. Something that likely would not happen if I just posted a video. True. But, you know, the podcasting world is a little bit different because, especially if you already are somebody, because you don't have to go through any like YouTube or Spotify or any, like, you might get banned on those, but podcast apps will bring in any RSS feed. So like if you just get, like, I use what's it called? I use Pocket Casts. Oh, come on. Well, you see it there in the corner, the red one. Pocket Cast, and it's just an app that pulls the RSS feed. So as long as it's available, then you know they're not publishing anything, they're not banning anything. So Spotify might, YouTube might, you know, things like that. But for just a podcast, you can go really far with audio only. Daniel said, and please don't give me permission to smoke cigarettes. I need to be chastised for falling off the wagon and told it's not okay. All right. Y'all heard it. Echo chamber? Who was talking about an echo chamber? That's all of them. I got my my calendar, and then that's it. And my tools, I got calculator, Facebook Messenger, CashApp, Play Store. Come on, why are these not doing the thing? What is this? Upwork. I've told you guys about Upwork. If you are out of work and you can do office stuff, writing stuff, download Upwork, and it's like the Uber for that kind of stuff. Good way to kind of, if you're in between jobs or something, definitely a good way to make a little bit of scratch. Dan is now Camel Joe. No, we're trying to make him the opposite of Camel Joe. Nick says, sometimes the best tactic is if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Yeah, but sometimes people need to hear shit that's not that nice. Just saying.
Waste. I mean, one of my favorite clips ever is on when you're having the interview about the lady that's trying to teach you how to speak Japanese.
Oh yeah, Helen.
And you're talking about the how can I tell my kid to make?
Oh, please let them play this clip. If they play this clip, I will be so happy that we made it this far.
Sure fast or whatever.
Oh shit!
It's so absurd, bro. But we were.
Well, I mean, again, everything we're wearing was probably made by children that are underpaid.
Oh, they're not gonna throw
But at
it.
the end of the day, you guys keep buying those fucking shirts. Those $100, $150. How much Nike? How much do I have a pair of Nike? I don't wear Nikes.
These are
I'll
like
wear
fucking
these,
$90.
I have these boots.
All right. I'm kind of done with this. The problem with Fume is that, and I haven't tried the new one because I did buy the first one originally. So if you're not familiar, like this is a regular vape, like a Juul. It has the juice in there, and it's a regular vape like that. Almost done, but got mine. But the Fume doesn't use vaporizing or heat or smoke at all. It's just basically a wooden tube, and they have these herb and spice infused cotton thingies that you slide in, and then you just pull on the flavored air. The problem is that the pull. So I'm used to smoking weed. I was never really a cigarette smoker. But I smoke you guys see the joints that I smoke, and I like to pack them tight so they smoke like a cigarette. and I like a little bit of a very little bit of airflow. So the problem with the original fume is that there's too much. So like instead of being able to pull into your mouth and then suck that into your throat, you have to just go do a straight pull from the thing into your stomach. And so it's just a different sensation. And so I just like, that's, you know, I mean, if I tried harder, then you know, I could do that. Cause I want to quit this thing too. For no other reason than because these aren't cheap. They're not tasty anymore without the fucking flavors either. Yeah, you can replace smoking with more disc golf. Disc golf with both hands. Sounds like you're talking about a little bit something different. Nick said sometimes you gotta shoot Mammy's mom because fuck, I gotta eat. Also, that goes with Thumper, Flower, and all of them. Other motherfuckers in the forest. Members only trick contest. We can definitely do that. That is a great idea. Oh, that's what the conversation, the after party is going to be about fume. So if you're not familiar or if you're interested, then I don't know why I said that. We're going to be talking about whatever the hell I want. But I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. You guys have blessed me. You guys have blessed me. Before we get to our donators, with my media, do you still agree with the comment, Sean is a political normie, confirmed? I need to know, baby. I need to know. Do we still stand on this? Or have we changed our minds? And then, of course, the comment of the night goes to Guam Tech for unapologetic honesty has its merit. However, it takes someone just as skilled with his tongue as his sword to actually convince the masses. Well said, well said. Melted Mind Media says, yes, drunk Uncle Normie. All right, well, agree to disagree. But thank you to Unwanted Foe. Well, I should have gone the other way, but we're just going in chronological order. Melted Mind Media. Of course, our boy Dan, the man, Jensen. We got our Canadian boy from Jay. Melted Mind Media again. And then out sponsoring himself. And, of course, the big mama. The big daddy of them all said, hell no, Melted Mind Media, Unwanted Foe is going to be the sponsor of the stream. Morty's like, all these bells and I'm not getting anything? All right. Thank you, guys, so much. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. I love going over this stuff. I love conversing with you. And I can't tell you. Like I said, there's never been anything in my life that hasn't been the level of like my actual job or school that I've been able to personally keep up and be consistent with. And that just shows how much this means to me. So and there is nothing that's going to stop me. Remember, the goal has not changed. We are fixing political discourse in this country. We are getting rid of semantic obfuscation. We are going to beat down the idea that dogmatic thinking is acceptable in any manner, particularly in politics. That is happening. Not it will happen. It is happening. Right now, it is happening. It's going to take a while. It's going to take some resources. But with all of us together, we can fix this country. So thank you again so much for hanging out with me. A big shout out again to our sponsor of the stream, Unwanted Foe. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. This is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, don't forget, we're headed right over Discord right now. It's free to join. Until then, I am out of here. Peace.